That's aarp.org/ca. Paid for by AARP California.
Looking for an easy way to save energy and earn money? With Clean Power Alliance's Power Response Home program, you can do both. Simply reduce your electricity use with small actions, such as unplugging appliances or air drying laundry during times of high energy demand. You could earn $20 just for signing up. Power Response. Great for your wallet and for the planet. Get paid to power down today at cleanpoweralliance.org/home.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Harry Douglas here. We all know breakfast is an important part of your day, but when you're traveling for work and your hotel doesn't offer any, you're forced to make do with peanuts and an energy bar as you sprint off to your shift. But if you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can enjoy their free Bright Side breakfast, featuring delicious baked goods, fruit, eggs, yogurt, and waffles. We refuse to let you go to work hungry, and I mean refuse, and aim to send you off fueled up. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at LQ.com.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Monday afternoon.
Mason, Ireland, best show on the radio.
Here we go, Monday, with the Hall of Famers, but one Hall of Famer is out. Kind of normal fare for this time in the summer. I mean, last week we got kind of lucky. Mace is on vacation yet again. The one and only Momo, Ramona Shelburne, is here sitting in for Mace. Well, John Ireland, who's been surfacing around the internet with this video from 1992. Ireland looking slick and mean and young, doing sports reporting on TV, Jack. Anyway, Johnny I's here, live from the Idaho compound. We'll break down preseason NFL football week 1 as the Rams beat the Cowboys, and Momo and Ireland's former Raiders, the Raiders, they tied.
Did you have me on your show to berate me? Is that what you're doing now?
That's right, JT the Brick, they tied. We'll talk about that, plus Dodgers baseball, maybe some Halos, and so much more. Let's do it for a Monday, the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland.
Hi, this is Kyron Williams with your LA Rams. The biggest show on the radio, this is Mason and Ireland.
With Momo, your Monday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Greetings, people. How's it?
How's it? Okay, that's a new one. How's it going?
Yeah, that's
you doing? Like Joey from Friends.
Term. So,
how you doing?
Laura's here, Brian's here, Momo's here, and this has the potential to be a really good show.
Potential.
Yes. Here's why. Momo sent me a text last night saying, "Hey, what do we got?" Something along the lines of, "What do we got going tomorrow? Who's doing the game tomorrow?" And I went, "Wait a minute, where's Mason?" And
I saw that,
and I'm like, crap, because I'm in the Idaho compound and I have 12 people here.
Okay.
So
you were looking forward to a day where Mason did all the work.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
I know all about that.
He normally blocks the show, and you know how it works. If he's there, it's less work for the other person. But when he's not there, it's just a little more work. It's not bad. It's just a little more work.
That's like what I do. I just show up.
Right. So last night when I got your text, I had been drinking.
Oh, this is great. Yeah.
Most of the day and most of the night. And I went, oh crap. All right, I gotta opt out of everything going on this morning, and I've got to kind of rally and come up with a lot of things to talk about, which I did, and I was fine.
I read your list. It looks good.
Yeah, but most I'd say 50% of that came under the influence. So It could be a really good show today.
Yeah.
And here's where I want to start. So Momo and I have covered sports in Los Angeles for about 30 years, and we've seen some of the biggest stars in the world.
Hey, speak for yourself.
That's right. You're younger than me.
20 years.
But I always wonder about this. So for people who don't know, Ramona played softball at Stanford on a really good team. They went to the College World Series. She played with Jessica Mendoza. I think Mendoza was either a 3 or maybe even a 4-time All-American.
I'm pretty sure she got it every year, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Dodgers lost again last night. They blew another close game. They shouldn't have lost. They left 16 guys on base.
But they had a good weekend. They won the series.
Yeah, they won 2 or 3. They shouldn't have lost. But Dave Roberts, after the game, did something I have never heard him do. He directly criticized Shohei Otani.
Yeah.
Now, Otani was the reason that the Dodgers were ahead in this game. He led off the game with a home run. He had another hit. He played great. But he did make some mistakes late in the game. Now, in our experience, Momo, coaches know it's a players' league. And you've got it. Like Byron Scott, for example, and I love Byron, but he refused to criticize Kobe under any condition. We asked him about it a couple times. He goes, I'll just never do it. He's meant too much to this team, too much to this franchise. Other guys I'm going to get on, but I'm not getting on Kobe. I know what I've got there. Dave Roberts last night, so I'll give you a couple of examples here. And Brian, stay with me here. The first one is the Dodgers, as I mentioned, left a ton of people on base, and Shohei was up with 1 out and the bases loaded. So they had nowhere to put him, and the Blue Jays led by 1 run. Really, the only thing you can't do in that situation, well, you think of 2 things.
Yeah.
You can't ground into a double play, and you can't strike out. All you want to do is put the ball in play and give your team a chance to tie the game. Shohei swung at a bad pitch. It was out of the strike zone. And here's Dave Roberts giving his opinion on that at bat.
The last thing I was thinking, he was going to strike out, but in that situation, the guy doesn't have a big fastball, and you got to stay to the middle of the field. And that's just, we got to come up with one right there. And, chasing the ball down below is something that we can't, we can't have happen.
All right, so that got my eyebrows up, Momo. Yeah, he just kind of ripped into Shohei. Then another reporter said, in the 8th inning, Shohei tried to steal. And
that was a decision, not a good baseball.
I'm sorry, Brian. Let me set it up a little bit more. Shohei tried to steal, and again, they had runners on base, and they were just trying to tie the game. This is only 3-4 seconds, but somebody said to Dave, what'd you think of Shohei trying to steal? And here's what Dave said.
That was his decision, not a good baseball play.
Woo!
That was his decision,
Woo!
Not a good baseball play. So, Momo, here is my question. Smart or risky for Dave Roberts to openly rip Shohei?
I like it. I like it because when you're willing to criticize, the one guy that nobody thinks you will criticize, it shows the rest of the team that everyone's equal. Like it. Now,
did your college manager ever get on Mendoza?
Oh
publicly?
yeah.
Publicly?
Oh yeah. All the time, and ripped her. I mean, I was definitely in the line of fire a lot.
Right.
Because I just used to do stuff out there. Used to do stupid things all the time. But that's stupid. Just I was kind of like Yasiel Puig. That's kind of how I played. I was a little out of control.
Right.
Everyone, I would like take the extra base, and they were like, "No, yeah, okay, way to go," or "No, don't overdo that again." But I'm glad it worked out. Like I was that girl. So I think I got a lot of the fire from my coach because and he used to tell me this off to the side. He'd go, I yell at you because I care about you, which is nice. That's okay.
Right.
Thank you for saying that. But also because I know you can take it. And I was like, so you don't see me go secretly cry on the way home? Okay. But the truth is, there are some people who can take it. And there's some people, and the coaches figure that out pretty quickly. They figure out which coach or which players they can yell at, and that they become the lightning rod, the example, et cetera. And I think Mendoza could definitely take it. I could take it. There were some people who were just so hard on themselves. If he even said one word to them, they would probably cry in front of everyone and just
So I agree with your assessment that not everybody's the same, but this is a completely unique situation.
Right. So
Momo.
I don't know Shohei. I don't know him personally well enough to know whether he can take it, whether he's ever been in the line of fire. However, I would guess that Dave Roberts does, that he doesn't do this lightly, and he's not doing it out of frustration, that he knows the guy. He's been on this team for 2 years now.
You said something earlier that makes a whole lot of sense to me. The Hall of Fame coaches I have covered do not hesitate to get on their best players. For example, Phil Jackson would treat Kobe and Shaq the same way he treated Rick Fox and Robert Horry and Derek Fisher. He was not afraid to. Greg Popovich openly talks about the fact that Tim Duncan's greatest gift to the Spurs is that he allowed himself to be coached.
That's right.
And once Popovich knew that, and he could make, like, this is exactly what you were talking about. He knew he could make an example out of him, and that Tim could take it, and it would wake up the rest of the room. Oh, my God, if he's lighting up Tim Duncan, I better get my act together. It makes your team bulletproof if the manager can get away with it. What surprised me is Shohei is the best baseball player I've ever seen.
Same.
He is a generational player. He has it in his contract that if Mark Walter or Andrew Friedman leaves the Dodgers, he can void his contract.
Yeah.
He can opt out. In other words, if it ever became a situation between Dave and Shohei, Dave's gone in a snap of a finger. You know, it's like Shohei has the con. He has more power than anyone, maybe in Dodger history. But if he allows himself to be coached, J.J. Redick told me that when Luka came over, he knew, J.J.'s smart. He knew that, because he played in the league, that he can't win a power struggle with Luka. And so he went to him and said, I want to know if you will allow yourself to be coached, if you will let me get on you when you're making a mistake. And Luka said, I appreciate you asking me, and yes, I want to be coached. I want to know what you're thinking at all times. And now they have an open communication. I think what Dave did yesterday got the attention of the whole rest of the team. Oh, my gosh. He ripped publicly at a press conference. He ripped Shohei.
Yeah.
I better get my act together. I loved it. It's risky because Shohei has more power than him, but Shohei has never come across to me as a guy that would say my way or the highway or go fire the manager. He doesn't strike me as that guy.
Yeah, I don't think he gets to be as good as he is without being coached, without allowing him. I think he's probably harder on himself than anybody else. And I think, the guy lives at the ballpark. What's the story? He tries to live really close to the ballpark so they can just be there early and he can like live, breathe, eat, sleep baseball. Like this guy's obsessed with the game. He knows he shouldn't have swung at that pitch. He knows that he probably shouldn't have stolen on his own or what. Like Dave doesn't need to tell him. That's all for the rest of the team. You know what I mean? Like usually guys like that, they already know. And you definitely don't get to be as good as Shohei without having a lot of people helping you along the way, a lot of people pushing you along the way. Now, there are definitely stars that you cannot criticize.
Right.
There are stars that do not want to hear it.
Kevin Durant. You know, I
think you can criticize him.
Draymond got on Kevin Durant, and he said, that's why I'm out of here.
Well, I'll say this. I think Kevin can be coached, but it depends on who's doing the coaching.
Correct.
That's a better way of saying it, right? I don't think he wanted to hear it from Draymond. I don't know if he wanted to hear it from Steve Nash. But if it was somebody, I think Steve Kerr coached him. I know he did. I know there were times in their relationship that they got into it a few times. And that's why Steve Kerr is Steve Kerr, right? And Steve Kerr does that to Steph too. That's part of why he is who he is and why those teams work. And I always say this too, like there's a lot of teams that get nervous about the media and you guys are trying to divide us or whatever. No team that has ever won a title would have been dethroned by some weird story. Like if your team is a strong team and you guys are good within yourselves and there's not divisions and you're a strong-minded team, you don't need protection from the media. You think the Warriors ever worried about that? They're the most open team in the league.
Has any coach publicly criticized LeBron in his career?
Ty Lue.
Oh, that's right. And he likes Ty. He respects him.
And I'll say that Phil did that to Kobe, but Mike Brown tried to do that to Kobe, and it didn't go well.
Right, because like you say, it depends who's giving the message.
Now, I watched the Diana Taurasi documentary last night.
Good.
Oh man, is it good! And the first episode, kind of towards the end of it, where you see the relationship with her and Gino Auriemma, like why he was such a good coach for her. He basically took this a generational talent who had a lot of swagger. And the very thing that made her great was also the thing he had to kind of coach out of her, which was this, she was a little reckless on the court. She had all this swagger. And he basically in the documentary, he says, yeah, she was a bit of a brat. Like she would get mad when she didn't play defense and she would start hitting people and clubbing people and getting out of control. And he goes, I wouldn't tolerate that. He didn't start her for the first month of the season.
Imagine
when
like
she was
Kobe.
A freshman. Yeah, just like Kobe. And then a couple people got hurt in front of her, and all the things that, he had been telling her this whole time. Like she had to grow up in a hurry, and she did. And she looked back on her time there, like she says, like by junior, senior year, she goes, oh my God, I see why everyone hated me my first year. She goes, all the things that Gina was telling me, I see it now.
Sure.
But that's what a great coach and a great player do when they get together, and they do it the right way. And so I hope this is that moment for Shohei and Dave. I hope that trickles down to the rest of the team, because they seem like they were turning a corner. I mean, the Blue Jays are really a team. They're top in the AL East, right? So winning 2 out of 3 is good, but they should have won the game last night.
Yeah. I loved actually what Dave said, and I hope Shohei doesn't react negatively to it, because I think once you can coach your best player, then you're off and running. All right, coming up next, what if I told you, Rams fans, there is a way to get Aaron Donald back in uniform and on the field? There is, and I'll tell you what it is next. First, let me tell you about Pro Baller. Pro Baller is the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's a natural, healthier energy drink with 102 milligrams of natural caffeine, no crash, and is NSF certified for sport, meaning it's trusted by pro athletes. Jeff Kerr, the guy who runs Pro Baller, is a great guy, listens to the station, comes to a lot of our events. Jeff knows that Pro Baller can help you get through your day no matter what you do for a living. If you're a truck driver, if you're a reporter like me or Momo, and you need from early in the morning, you're going until late at night, you drink a couple of cans of Pro Baller, it helps get you through the day. And right now you can rep the squad with the limited edition Lakers can. So if you want to feel sharper, stronger, and more locked in, grab the drink that fuels the Lakers. Pro Baller is available at Costco, select convenience stores, and online at Amazon. Pro Baller energy drinks. Champions choose clean energy. Mason in Ireland. Momo in for Mace. ESPN LA.
Saturday on ESPN LA, it was the preseason game number 1 as the Rams beat those Cowboys. And our very own George Shinano made his Rams play-by-play debut.
2nd and 9. Bennett in the gun. Drops back. Fires over the middle. It's caught. And running into the end zone for a touchdown is Cody Schrader out of the backfield.
Don't miss Shinano and DeMarco on the call this Saturday for Rams preseason game number 2 on your home of Rams football, ESPN LA.
If you've been thinking about selling your home and you've heard about Seller's Advantage on the radio or seen them around town, you might be a little skeptical, wondering if they're just another shady company trying to take advantage. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes from sellers in Southern California for over 20 years. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and there's a reason they have some of the best reviews in town. Seller's Advantage will make you a competitive cash offer that can match what you'd end up with after paying for expensive repairs and agent commissions without the hassle of listing your home. Plus, they take pride in buying on your terms. If you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a no-obligation offer. 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-2747. Or, better yet, go to their website, sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Pechanga Resort Casino is giving away $1 million in August. Win your share of the $1 million in prizes by using your Pechanga Club card when you play your favorite slots or table games to earn entries. Then, be at Pechanga Resort Casino every Saturday in August to activate your entries for the weekly drawing. You could be one of the many winners of the $100,000 in cash, and thousands in easy play is also up for grabs. Must be present to win. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details. Must be 21 or older with valid ID to participate.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And it is Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Like, that's the problem in the world, is there aren't enough happy shows, fun shows.
Mason and Ireland.
710 ESPN.
All right, Mason and Ireland, Momo in for Mace today.
Good song, Ryan.
And we got a lot of stuff going on. So, Momo, I saw this story, and I thought to myself, I'm not sure if he's being serious or not.
How many drinks in were you when you saw this?
That's part of what contributed to this.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this for real? So you can tell me. But Aaron Donald and Micah Parsons have traded messages on Instagram. And Donald says, Micah Parsons has made a trade demand with the Cowboys. I personally don't think the Cowboys are going to trade him. I think it's all negotiating. But Aaron Donald wrote this, quote, "If Parsons comes to the Rams, I might have to get in football shape. With that D-line, we'd be unreal." Parsons responded, "Don't tell me info like that," and tagged his agent, a guy named David Mulgaleta.
Woo!
If
he tagged his agent.
Right. If you're Les Snead, don't you at least have to explore this? I know you'd have to completely blow up your salary structure to make room for Micah Parsons and to make room for Aaron Donald. But if you could, don't you at least have to kick the tires on this?
100%. Like, Aaron Donald has kept himself in amazing shape. There's always videos of him out. He puts them on his Instagram, right? Like, he's still in pretty good shape. He was working out with Jared Verse all summer, right? We saw them training together. To me, the fact that he even thought that and then put it out there publicly, like that's not just an idea.
Right.
That's something he really thought about.
And remember when when the Rams kind of turned a corner in their Super Bowl year, is when they went out and got Von Miller. Remember, they got Von Miller and they added him to the mix, and they added OBJ that year, and they added Von Miller, and all those guys helped him win the Super Bowl. If I'm Les Snead, I'm very quietly under the surface going to the Cowboys and saying, what would it take? What would it take to get Micah Parsons? And obviously you'd have to send some salary out. But if you could do this, it could arguably be the greatest two defensive linemen playing together on the same team in the last 30 years. I mean, you'd have to go back to Merlin Olsen and Deacon Jones, or Jerome Brown and Reggie White.
John, when Tom Brady, he came out of retirement, right? Like the second time. When was that? Like what part of the summer?
Oh, that's a good question. I remember he never really officially retired.
I think he kind of did, though.
But he said, I'm going to go spend time with my family. And then all of a sudden, when mini camps opened up, he showed up again. If you could somehow.
I feel like it was, let's see. After announcing his retirement in February of 2022, he returned to play for the Buccaneers for the 2022 season. He then retired again for good in February of 23. So
that was the
40
Giselle
days
retirement.
later.
Okay, I think Giselle told him, if you don't retire, I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, I'm
it was
not
40
retiring.
days later. Yeah.
And then they broke up, and then he went and played that one more year with the Bucks, and that's the year the Rams knocked him out and ended his career. But if I think there's even a chance that you could put Micah Parsons next to Aaron Donald, and I know it's an extreme long shot, I'd put the odds of this happening at 1% or less. But I think you got to kick the tires.
His agent.
Yeah,
I mean, look, last year,
I think you got to look into it.
You have to. I mean, like that's Aaron Donald's around the Rams. He's still around. He's kind of mentoring them. He's not far from you. He wouldn't have to go through training camp. He could come on, just get him ready for week 8. Come on, halfway through the season.
Also, I wanted to slip this in. Brian, I felt bad for you. I don't know if you guys talked about this the other week. For people that don't know, Brian's a Chargers fan.
I know. That's the one thing about you, Brian. I don't know.
So less than 2 weeks ago, Rashawn Slater agreed to a 4-year, $114 million contract extension, $92 million in guaranteed money. That made him the NFL's highest-paid offensive lineman in terms of annual value ever. And on Thursday, he got hurt in practice and is now out for the entire season. So a guy who's considered to be one of the top 5 offensive linemen in football. Brian, what on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of concern that you have no Rashawn Slater this year?
I would probably put it at a 6 out of 10. It's a little more than half because it is a huge loss. And I just feel so bad for the guy. Like you just said, the highest, paid offensive lineman to a week later. Now he's done for the whole year. After last year, he had missed a lot of time because of injury too. It's a sad time.
Yeah, I hate athletes getting injured. I mean, I just hate it because you know how hard, Ramona and I have covered these guys from high school through college into the pros. You just know how hard they work. And it's a huge loss for them. The only silver lining, Brian, is that it happened now.
Yes, exactly. There's time. They've already trying to now. They're moving Joe Alt
someone
to
over,
left.
right?
Yeah. So, I mean, they drafted Joe Alt pretty high last year, their first-round tackle out of Notre Dame. So, hopefully he could kind of hold it down. But then the rest of your line's getting weaker anyway. But, yes, at that point, there's going to be some veterans cut here in the coming weeks. So maybe you could still add some depth as well.
Yeah, I think that they'll have to go kind of scour the league and see who they can bring in. But I just feel so bad for Slater and bad for Jim Harbaugh because Harbaugh's got that thing moving in the right direction. Ramona, for me, that's the most interesting division in football this year.
100%.
Maybe not the best, but the Chiefs are the favorites. But the Broncos look good, the Chargers look good, and the Raiders with Pete Carroll could win 8-9 games. So that could be the most fun division in football.
I would feel a lot better about the Raiders if they weren't in that division.
Right.
Because I think
Very well said.
But they always beat the Chiefs. Every year we beat the Chiefs, usually in Arrowhead. So let's one of those. All
right, coming up next, we've got Wheel of Questions. Laura's got the wheel. And then I want to compare what's happening with Shadur Sanders to what's happening with Bronny James, because I think there's an interesting parallel there.
Yeah.
And we'll do that after we tackle Wheel of Questions. First, let me talk to you about ZipRecruiter. Ian Siegel, the guy who invented ZipRecruiter, has a great way of explaining how the whole thing works. He said to me once, we don't leave anything to chance. And if you're hiring, you got to use ZipRecruiter because it's free. Go to this website right now, ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter uses powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. You can check out the people they send you, and in one click, you can invite them to apply for your job. And here's how quick they work. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So don't wait. Use ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Momo in for Mace. I'm John Ireland. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Coming up today at 3 p.m.
We had this big company-wide meeting. I was on Teams. Most people were here, but I was driving up, so I was on Teams. So I took my phone and I put it between my legs.
Oh, geez.
And I had no camera on and I had no audio on. And the phone is pointing up at me, okay? And I am picking my nose, man. I got my pinky in this side, my finger in, I am picking my nose, dude. I'm pulling things out of, cornflakes are coming out of my nose, bro.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because that's what they look like. And then all of a sudden, I look down at my phone, and I don't know if my leg accidentally touched the camera.
I don't remember seeing that.
People are watching me pick my nose from my phone that is in my seat, and I am picking, bro. But no one has commented to me today, like, hey, Cap, your camera was accidentally on. You were really
now you told everybody.
But I don't remember us seeing it.
My finger.
We got it.
I'm like 3 inches all up in it.
Sedano and Cap on 710. The fun way to drive home.
Sedano and Cap.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
The Freeway series is on. Arrowhead, Mountain Spring Water, and ESPN LA are hosting the ultimate watch party. Join us at Clearman's Gallery in San Gabriel on Wednesday, August 13th at 6 p.m. Grab your gear, hang out with the crew, and enter to win tickets and more at the Freeway series watch party at Clearman's Gallery. Presented by Arrowhead Mountain Spring Water, the official water of Major League Baseball.
Hey, soccer fans! San Antonio Cardinale Wine is hooking up fans with 2 tickets, air and hotel, to the biggest match in USA this season. Don't wait. Head to soccerdreamticket.com and enter now. You can score your way from San Antonio Cardinale Wine.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for?
What is this?
It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
That's a dumbass question.
You know what? I actually am going to disagree with Stephen A. on this one because I feel like it's going to be a really good question.
Okay.
So I noticed that AOL is shutting down their dial-up service at the end of September after 30 years of providing it.
What?
I didn't even know it was still a thing, to be
No more
honest.
dial-up, Momo.
You should have it in case of emergency.
So here we go. I personally did not know it was a thing, but if you don't have the option of dial-up, what is your backup plan if we don't have access to Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi goes down?
It's a great question.
I thought
this happens.
So Wi-Fi goes down, and I have to get on the internet, and Wi-Fi goes down. I think the only recourse there is just use your phone. I think that, use the cellular thing on your phone. Now, if the cellular network goes down, we're all screwed anyway. But, Ramona, that's the only thing. You know how you can use your phone and turn off the Wi-Fi?
You actually can use your phone as a personal hotspot.
Right, but we're assuming for the sake of Laura's question that the Wi-Fi hotspot's not working either. Like, her question was,
this is
what
like
do
the
you
Wi-Fi
do?
at your house or something like that.
Right.
And then if the Wi-Fi at my house goes down, then I'm going to use my phone as a personal hotspot. And if that doesn't work, then I don't have much recourse at this point. That is actually a little concerning to me because things do go off. Like we had a power surge at our house yesterday. The power went off for a little while. And my son was like, "Oh, the TV doesn't work.
Oh,
like,
the world is
the
ending.
world is ending. What do we do?" And I was like, that's what the problem is. When the internet goes down and your TV's connected to like an internet cable now where it's streaming, then we don't have much recourse. Like we're all getting fairly dependent on a technology that is not super stable.
I will tell you guys this, though, and I think, Brian, you talked about this when you went on vacation. I think you were in a similar boat. But when I go on the lake here in Idaho, and we go to the lake at some point every day, at least for a little while, no cell service, I actually love it.
Yeah, it's great.
I put my phone in the glove compartment of the boat, and I don't check it until I get back to shore. And Brian, didn't you do that when you went on your trip?
Yeah, when I went camping, we were out of cell range for almost a week. There was like maybe a day or two we went into town, we had it. But yeah, over a few day period of no cell service, it was actually very relaxing.
I was just going to say, I actually love it when we go in the lake because even if something bad happened, I can, there's the chances of something so bad, so catastrophic happening in the 3 hours I'm on the lake are pretty slim. So I actually think, Laura, it would be a good thing if we lost Wi-Fi every once in a while. It would force everybody to talk to each other and be normal.
This is something that I can say because you and I are part of the generation that grew up before cell phones.
Right.
We know what it was like before you were not always reachable. I lived half of my life like that. How much of your life did you live without cell phones, John?
Well, cell phones, I had my first cell phone in 1998.
Oh, earlier than me. I got my first one when I graduated college in 2001.
So KCAL gave me a cell phone.
Okay.
And so they could always get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And so I was 35 in 1998.
Okay, so I lived 21 years of my life without a cell phone. Went all of college, and my life I think was better without the cell phone. But it was very inconvenient. Sometimes, like my car broke down once, and there was no such thing as calling AAA. You had to walk to a payphone,
right?
And that was a long walk, and you had to
you had to wave somebody down on the
freeway.
Yeah,
wave somebody down and go to a call. Have you guys ever heard of a call box?
I've seen them.
I've seen them on the freeway.
Yeah, it was. They existed specifically to address the problem Ramona is describing. Your car breaks down on the highway, and you never had to go more than a mile without a call box,
right?
Because nobody had cell phones.
Yeah, now my mom, she had like something happen to her car on the side of on the freeway, and I have location service turned on for my mom, and she was, oh my God, I'm on the freeway. I was like, don't worry, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I see exactly where you are because I can do the Find My iPhone. Like, Some parts of life are better with our phones and being able to do it. But I do like having that emergency landline as a backup. I don't like that AOL is doing away with that.
Do you have a landline at your house?
I do not, and I have considered adding one for this very reason because generally speaking, like things go down. Like the Wi-Fi goes out sometimes.
So Lisa's biggest client is a company called Kyocera. They make cell phones in Japan. And she has a call with Japan once a week. So because she can't trust cell service, we still have a hardline in our house. Yeah, so we don't use it. I never use it. But all right. So that's Wheel of Questions. Let me get this in before Sports Graffiti. Did you watch Shadur Sanders?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about that all day Friday. That was exciting.
Here's the thing. Even before he had that great preseason game, he was third in rookie jersey sales behind only Travis Hunter and Cam Ward. I'm sure by now he's first.
Yes.
Because he had that big game. Like Bronny James, he's a late-round pick who is more famous because of who his dad is. But fans don't care, and they both have huge followings. Here's the difference. I think Bronny has to work his way up to becoming an NBA player. I think the rest of the GMs in the NFL should be embarrassed at how good Shadur Sanders looked the other night. Really, the only reason you didn't take him is because he's Deion's kid and you thought he would be privileged or maybe he wouldn't be hungry. Did anyone watch this kid play at Colorado? That's exactly how he looked at Colorado.
I mean, I don't think that's the only reason they didn't take him.
What do you think the main reason they didn't take him is?
I heard that he he didn't do well in his interviews or something. People thought there's a lot of reporting on this that came out
right.
And there were certain teams where they felt like they didn't want to draft him once he fell a little bit because they'd be drafting him to be a backup. And he didn't he said stuff in his interviews that made him think like he wasn't willing to be a backup. Whatever the case, clearly they missed. You should always draft on talent. You should always draft on.
Okay, Ramona, let's say all that stuff. Let's say all that stuff's true. He said something stupid in an interview, or he expressed. And by the way, I've never seen this proven. He expressed that he wouldn't be a backup. But let's just say for the sake of argument,
they projected that he wouldn't do well in that role.
Right.
Or something.
Isn't the only question you should be asking if you're drafting for any professional sports team, can this guy help us win? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. If he comes with some baggage or if he did something stupid and you can't keep him on the field, that's one thing. But this kid did some knuckleheaded stuff. He got a couple of speeding tickets. I guess he walked into playing his own music, and people thought he was a little too me. Some of the greatest players in the history of sports have been. Terrell Owens, who's in the Hall of Fame, his most famous quote is, "I love me some me." If Shadur Sanders can play like that, how in the hell did he last until the 5th round?
So you're familiar with the fame cycle, right?
Sure.
The fame cycle is you get built up. Everybody loves you. They see a new hero. They see a new star. They see something in you that elevates you. And then there is this moment where you get knocked down and everybody piles on you because, nobody's supposed to be that famous, or you got a little ahead of yourself. You flew too close to the sun, whatever it is. And then the really truly great performers or athletes, etc., they move past that moment. So this is Ronda Rousey was somebody who hit a moment where she got caught in the fame cycle. She lost. Everybody piled on her. I don't think she ever quite recovered her previous fame because she didn't handle that moment as well. But she now has a thriving career in WWE. She pivoted out of USC, went into WWE, and now she's a more interesting person because she's been through that. I think the way Shadur handles the falling to the 5th round and people questioning him and his attitude and questioning his dad, etc. This can make him a much more interesting, bigger star. Because if you handle it well, then now you're beloved. Now
Here's what I don't get. In the history of sports, second-generation players often turn out to be great.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr., Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Klay Thompson. And I don't get hating on a player, in this case Shadur or Bronny, just because you don't like his dad, which I think clearly went on here. I think maybe they don't like Deion's act. Maybe he comes on a little strong for them. But watch the freaking game tape from Colorado. Did you see how comfortable he looked in that game on Thursday?
So comfortable. And that swagger, that confidence, that's kind of everything for a quarterback.
Yeah, that's not a 5th round quarterback.
No.
And I know like Brock Purdy got taken in the 7th round. I know this happens occasionally, but let's face it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Shadur Sanders dropped because of off-the-field issues, whether it be his dad, whether the stuff you talked about,
whatever, yeah.
the interview, whatever. And no one stopped to ask the question, can this guy help us win?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a gambler, Momo, but the last time I looked, it may have changed after Thursday night's game, but the over-under on passing yards for Shadur this year at FanDuel was 600 yards.
Oh.
I'd bet a fortune on that right now.
Huh.
He could be the starter there. I think they probably will start Joe Flacco.
Yep.
But if they don't win, I don't care. Dylan Gabriel isn't as good as what we saw on Thursday. And who knows what Deshaun Watson is.
Is
I think
Deshaun even playing? I mean,
he's maybe out for the whole year.
Yeah.
I would buy stock in Shadur right now and not think twice about it. Wouldn't you?
I don't know. I want to see Dylan play first because I thought he was really good at Oregon. I thought he was, and the only reason he didn't play in the preseason game was because he's injured. He has a hamstring thing. So I think Flacco is going to start the year, and then if they start losing or if he gets hurt, which he probably will because he's 1,000,000 years old, one of those two guys will be up next. But we haven't seen Dylan Gabriel play at all yet either.
Yeah, but I just can't imagine after watching that game on Thursday and seeing how
But I agree with you.
Shadur was.
Do you feel like story time with Momo? Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
Okay. I was this year I was covering the finals, and I always prep the story for whoever's going to win. So because this went to a game 7,
you had to have 2 of them.
I had to have both stories ready.
Right.
So one of the stories that got left, because the Pacers lost, I never got to write this one. But one of the parts that I was going to lead with was the story about T.J. McConnell. You remember him?
Great.
He was a great player.
Yeah, and it was one of the main reasons Indiana pushed that to 7.
And he is this total underdog story. He's, how is he even in the league, et cetera. Well, I heard a story that his first year, he was in the league. I'm going to withhold some names, okay?
Yeah.
His first year, he's like a two-way guy. He's just barely drafted. I think he's 6'1", 6'2" I don't even know if he got drafted. I think he's just signed as a two-way free agent. And he's in the league, and he's lucky to be in the league. The only reason he's playing is he's on the Sixers, who were tanking, right?
Yeah.
And he's first game, he starts going at the referee, Monty McCutcheon, right? He starts going at him, like yelling and screaming, like what? Like he's criticizing him like he's LeBron, like he is. This is this undrafted rookie on a two-way contract who has no business being there, right? And he's yelling at this veteran referee over some out-of-bounds play or whatever, right? And Monty turns to him and he goes, "Let me stop you there. Hi, my name is Monty. What's your name?" And TJ goes, "Oh, TJ McConnell, right? Like, why don't we start with an introduction before you start ripping my head off, right?"
Right.
Like, who are you to be doing
Monty
this?
was so good at that.
He was so good.
Yeah.
And I asked TJ about it, and he goes, "Yeah, I learned how to talk to the refs better that way." And I go, "TJ, that's not what I take from that story. What I take from the story is that you did not have imposter syndrome. You had a head of steam and some confidence that I have no idea where you had this irrational confidence in your ability and the reason and the idea that you should be out there yelling at some veteran referee like that. But I think it's the reason you're probably still here now." Right?
Yeah.
You don't have that imposter syndrome. You're not questioning yourself. You believe you belong. And I think that's what Shadur has. Like, that's, to me, the one of the most valuable skills that a young player can have, or anyone, whether they're young, old, whatever, is just the confidence to know that you belong, that you are enough. You're good enough right now.
Shadur has that. He's got that. And I'm very, very high on him based on what I saw today. All right, coming up next, sports graffiti. 877-710-3776. 877-710-ESPN. You can talk about anything we've brought up on the show, or you can go off the board, whatever you want to do. Momo, are you comfortable handling the sports graffiti calls today?
Oh, I love when I get to do that.
All right, you got something to read, right?
Yeah, listen up, soccer fans. San Antonio Cardinal Wine and ESPN LA want to send you and a guest to the final match of the season. It's the Soccer Dream Team ticket. Enter for your chance to win at soccerdreamticket.com. That's soccerdreamticket.com. Brought to you by San Antonio Cardinal Wine, the perfect game day wine.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
Saturday on ESPN LA, it was the preseason game number 1 as the Rams beat those Cowboys. And our very own George Shinano made his Rams play-by-play debut.
2nd and 9, Bennett in the gun, drops back, fires over the middle, it's caught, and running into the end zone for a touchdown is Cody Schrader out of the backfield.
Don't miss Shinano and DeMarco on the call this Saturday for Rams preseason game number 2 on your home of Rams football, ESPN LA.
Back when I played, leg cramps were no joke. Fourth quarter, overtime, practice, even when I got home, they would hit out of nowhere. Had I known about Highland's leg cramps back in the day, I would have had a locker full of the stuff. Now I'm retired, I still get these cramps on my morning walks, hanging out with my daughter, but now I've got something that actually works. Highland's leg cramps. The tablets dissolve quickly under the tongue and don't upset my stomach. Cramps hit athletes, weekend warriors, couch coaches, all of us. Grab Highland's leg cramps and get it today at Walmart, Walgreens, or CVS.
Hey, it's Greg Bergman. If you aren't joining Marcus Grant, Parker Bell, and myself every morning on the Blue Review from 8:30 to 8:55 on the ESPN LA YouTube page, what are you even doing with your mornings? We break down everything from Shohei hitting bombs to Tanner Scott blowing saves. We talk about the highs and don't brush off the lows. Always honest and talking how we feel. It's all thanks to LAX, where changes are arriving daily and transforming the travel experience. The Blue Review every morning from 8:30 to 8:55 on the ESPN LA YouTube page. The Blue Review. The Blue Review.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's hottest card room. Pre-game with friends on game days inside Century Bar and Grill and enjoy daily lunch specials or catch up over a late-night dinner. Step into Ray's Lounge and enjoy live music, DJs on the weekends, and savory crafted cocktails. The only spot where you can park, party, and play 24/7. Hollywood Park Casino now open. Located next to the Forum and SoFi Stadium and the all-new Intuit Dome. For more info, go to playhbc.com or follow them at PlayHBC. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
And it is 1 o'clock in the Southland on the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland. And it's time for Let's Talk About It on Sports Graffiti, like we do every day at this time. Sponsored by our friends at BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month of therapy. BetterHelp.com/timeout. Now let's do it. Let's talk about it on Sports Graffiti on Mason and Ireland.
All right, here we go. Sports Graffiti, your chance to sound off about anything you want. Who do we got, Momo?
Show me. Hold on, I got to switch seats. Hold on.
I can do it.
Do it,
Laura.
All
right, Ken, you're up. Go.
Oh, I see.
Hello.
Hey, Ken, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hi, John, and thank you, Ramona, for something in the past. Okay, if you were to write a book about how to lose a game by one run, this would be the all-time winner. More ridiculous things happened in this game than I can ever remember. Let's start with the 15 guys left on base and the 12 walks that they did nothing with. But let's get into some of the questionable moves by Dave Roberts. Never mind.
We're talking about yesterday's game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Never mind Mookie. Still think he could steal second. If he would have stayed where he was, that's another run from Freeman, and they lost by one run because Freeman homered. Next thing you have to ask is, Dave takes Teoscar
Hernandez, yeah.
Right. So when they got the bases loaded and they desperately need a run, he's only got Conforto, who, of course, popped up. The worst single hitter in the major leagues at starts. That was a great move. Then we've got Trinan, who's got a 5 ERA coming in to give up 2 home runs. He's not ready. And the final thing that just drove me nuts. All right, you got a runner at first. You've got no outs. What does Dave do? Has his guy sacrifice bunts, Freeman, the other Free, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Sacrifice bunt, and immediately they walk Otani. There's no reason to do that, especially when you know Mookie's not been hitting that great. They lost the game because of runners on base, and they lost the game because of Dave making some questionable moves.
All right, thank you, Ken. Laura, who's next?
Hey, Eric, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Yeah, hey, John, you don't understand why the Laker fans are down on LeBron, et cetera.
Right.
And I'm a 25-year season ticket holder, so I've been around for a long time. And I love LeBron. I think actually he is probably the greatest of all time over Michael Jordan, but that's another story. But I think the thing is that, you know, he's Barry Bonds. Not take the steroids out of it, but he's Barry Bonds. He's just not likable. He's just not a likable guy. He's prickly. He's very arrogant, et cetera. And, you know, my wife and my kids, they don't like LeBron, not because he's not a great player, not that he's not going to help the Lakers, but he's just not a very likable guy. And I think that's what you're kind of missing in this whole thing. It's more of a personality thing.
Right. So you say you've been a Laker for 25 years, or a Laker fan for 25 years?
Yeah, season ticket holder for 25 years or so.
Everything you just said, you could say about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Laker fans loved him. Kareem was prickly. He was standoffish. He was bad with the media. He's much better now. But
they couldn't really see it back then because there was no social media. Now you get a day-by-day view of it, whereas you might hear some stories or, you know, a newspaper reporter writing about that or something like that. But you didn't really see it so much with Kareem, you know.
Okay. I see your point.
And, you know, and San Francisco fans loved Barry Bonds too, but I bet if you asked most of those San Francisco fans, you know, personality-wise, they weren't really a big fan of Barry Bonds either. So I think that's my main thing with LeBron is that he's just not a very likable guy. And the one thing also I want to mention, just on a separate note real quick, is on the Mark Walter thing. As a season ticket holder, I'm a little bit leery about it because I saw what he did with the Dodgers, which is, yes, turned him into perennial winner, but also he priced all those season ticket holders out. The people that had seats down near the dugouts and all that, all of a sudden their season ticket prices tripled and quadrupled. And, you know, now I went to a game the other night. $61 is the cheapest seat to get in. You used to be able to go to Dodger games for like $8, $9, right?
Right.
So the fans are going to pay for it, and Mark Walters isn't going to pay for it. He's going to rake in the money, but it's the fans.
I know what you're saying there. I do think some of that has to do with the giveaways. Did you go to the Kobe bobblehead night? Is that when you win?
He's out.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. I don't think what we want out of our sports owners, in this case Mark Walter, who owns the Dodgers, and is consistent winning. And this guy delivers consistent winning. Everything else, Momo, is supply and demand.
Yeah.
If he puts the best team in baseball on the field every night, he should charge more.
Yeah, and also, like, they don't have trouble selling those seats. I've been to a few games this year. Every time I go, I'm paying more than I used to pay, but there's always a full house. I mean, they're not struggling to sell tickets, and I think that's your point to supply and demand. There's a lot of fans that are there every night, and they still pay it. So
right, you should be able to charge whatever fans are willing to pay. Now, I think his point was he's been going to Laker games for 25 years. Yeah. And it's been affordable, and now he's worried that they're going to drive it out. But the only way they're going to raise ticket prices is if they start winning and competing for championships again. And if they do that, I'm okay with it. But that's what we want out of our owners, consistent winning.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Hey, Ray, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, quick, just wanted to say something real quick. I'm so sick and tired of Dodger fans crying and complaining and nagging after every loss like the world is over. Get real. The team is fine. We're still in first place. It's a little frustrating when we lose games. But guys like Ken, you're not a GM. You're not a coach. You don't have a clue, bro. Yeah, if we wouldn't have put in Conforto right then, we would have wanted to get out of here with all your nonsense. Yeah, fans, sit back, be quiet, and enjoy the ride. That's
gosh, I love it.
Thanks.
I do love guys like Ken, though, because he watches very closely.
And I actually think all of Ken's points were
good, yeah.
Yeah, were accurate.
All right, Mitchell, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, how you doing? Speaking about another good quarterback, Preseason, and I wish the Rams had taken him, or even my Raiders, Jackson Dart. He played quite well.
Yeah.
And here's another guy kind of like opposite, DJ Youngalele. I hope he makes it, him and Lance. I mean, Heineken's like 5'10". He's a career backup. We'll see what these two guys got with the Chargers, but I'm loving Jackson Dart.
But, Mitch, I would argue that Shadur is as good as any of the people you mentioned. I think Shadur is as good as Jackson Dart. I think he's as good as any of these rookie quarterbacks coming out. And I thought that his performance, Ramona, made the GMs in the NFL look silly.
Yeah, I agree with you. He shouldn't have fallen to the 5th round.
Right.
Hey, Ben, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to talk about Shadur as well. I got in a little late, so I don't know if you guys mentioned this.
Okay.
I agree with you, though, John. I do like Shadur. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. The reason I think he fell to the 5th round is because he has this prime equity clause in his contract. Basically gives him the percentage of all revenue generated from merchandise, sponsorships, and promotions in his name, image, and likeness, similar to the NIL in college. So
how is that allowed?
NFL is just trying to short his stock. They're trying to basically short his stock so that he would basically come in with, less revenue. He already made $14 million because his jersey got $250 million already. Number 1 jersey in the league.
Right.
How did he get that? I wouldn't every player want that?
Yeah, well, and by the way, I don't know how that doesn't violate the salary cap, but but it's interesting. If that's what he negotiated, good for him. But Ramona, I'm going back to you can come at me with his dad's a prima donna.
Yeah.
He got 2 speeding tickets going over 100 miles an hour. He's got his own rap label. He's a rich kid, blah, 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 blah. I only ask one question. Can this guy help me win? And the answer for Shadur is absolutely. This guy can help you win. So I don't know. I don't know what these GMs are doing. I would love to have that guy in my quarterback room. All right, that's it for Sports Graffiti. Coming up next, I want to talk about the WNBA and 2 decisions they can make that would make the league way better and keep them out of trouble. I'll share them with you next. Momo and for Mace, I'm John Ireland, ESPN LA.
Hey, Sports Graffiti is sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health.
Are you ready for amazing golf at one of the best courses in Southern California and to be part of raising money for an incredible cause? It's time for the 4th annual Give Back Golf Classic, Friday, August 29th at the stunning Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda, benefiting the Folds of Honor Foundation. Folds of Honor, they have a mission to empower deserving military families with educational support and opportunities. Register to play now at blackgoldgolf.com/FOH. Plus, there are still sponsorship opportunities to be part of this amazing event. blackgoldgolf.com/FOH. Be sure to catch Let's Talk About It on Sports Graffiti, weekday afternoons at 1 p.m. on Mason and Ireland. Sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health is health. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month of therapy. BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Fantasy football fans, the ESPN LA Fantasy Football Draft Party is back at Hollywood Park Casino on Thursday, August 28th. Join Sedano and Cap live on site starting at 3 p.m. Then get ready to draft your squad when the draft party kicks off at 6 p.m. Enjoy a night of football, food, drinks, and fun. Want in? Reserve a league for you and 7 friends right now at ESPNLA.com. We'll reach out to confirm your full 8-player league. You'll compete for awesome prizes all season long. And it all starts at Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, play.
You've probably heard of speed dating, but what if there was something similar for hiring, especially if you're running a growing business? There is Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You can post your job today and talk to interested qualified candidates tomorrow. Simply select a time and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you'd like to connect with and meet great people through back-to-back video calls starting as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports. Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
You know that feeling. You're finally asleep and bam, a leg cramp comes out of nowhere. Look, I've played through pain, but waking up with a leg cramp at 3 a.m., that sucks. So I don't mess around anymore. I keep Highland's Leg Cramps PM on my nightstand. No groggy side effects, no harsh meds, just a fast, effective relief that lets me sleep through the night without the Charlie horse surprise. Get the sleep you need with Highland's Leg Cramps PM. Get it today at Walmart, Walgreens, or CVS. Highland's Leg Cramps PM, because you don't need a midnight workout.
Hey, it's Mace. Get ready, LA. AARP Los Angeles and ESPN LA are teaming up to kick off the 2025 football season in a big way we're giving 2 lucky winners a pair of tickets to the first professional football game of the season right here in LA. That's right, you and a guest could be in the stands soaking in the energy, the action, and the thrill of game day. No catch, no purchase necessary, just a chance to win an unforgettable experience thanks to AARP Los Angeles. Here's how you enter. Just head to aarp.org/Los Angeles and scroll to the news section. Again, that's aarp.org/Los Angeles. Scroll down to the news section and fill out the entry form. It's quick, it's easy, no purchase necessary, got to be 18 or older, and a legal U.S. resident to enter. Void where prohibited. Promotion runs August 4th through August 22nd. For official rules and to enter, visit aarp.org/Los Angeles. Head over to the news section. This giveaway is administered by AARP.
Mason in Ireland on 710.
I mean, would you rather have good life or sex? Good sex. Good life, good sex.
Well, I got both.
There you go. That's
good
the correct
for you,
answer.
Johnny I.
More of Mason in Ireland right now.
All right, Mason and Ireland show. Momo in for Mason, one of my favorite people. Happened to be running around the building, so we grabbed him and put him in front of a microphone. It is our friend, Dr. Robert Clapper, the best sports surgeon I know. Dr. Clapper, how are things?
I'm sitting in the studio, John Ireland. I'm having flashbacks already here.
I know.
Beautiful.
He's in the lead chair, too.
I love that. Hey, Dr. Clapper, since you're here, let me ask you.
Yes.
What's your level of concern about Matthew Stafford not practicing?
He had an epidural 3 weeks ago.
Right. If you're a Ram fan, is that something? Is it nothing? Somewhere in between? What do you think?
Are you ready for a Clapper vision?
Yes, please.
Always.
Love it.
So the spine, you've heard me many times describe it as a stack of Oreo cookies. The bone, the vertebral bodies, is the cookie. The disc is the cream filling. And
I like the jelly donut. Okay, but Oreo cookie. Okay.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying with the disc stacked up like Oreos.
That's right.
That makes
right.
sense.
But what you need to appreciate is if you have an Oreo cookie, Ramona Shelburne.
I had one of those.
And you wanted to pull it apart, right?
Yeah.
You got 2 cookies, the cream filling. How are you going to take the top cookie, the bottom cookie, and just pull on it?
No, twist.
You twist. Exactly. So the very idea of the cream filling being this shock absorber between the bones, it's designed this way, this part of the spine, as a shock absorber. So when you jump up and down, Dwight Howard, when you jump up and down, you have a wonderful cushion shock absorber. But it's not the greatest device if you twist. So our back has, I don't know if this is, I'm on radio again. You try and touch your toes and then you stand up. Flexion, extension. That's 2 degrees of freedom.
Okay.
You side to side, like when the Dodgers hit a home run, they do this thing where they bend side to side. That's lateral bending to the left, to the right. That's 2 more degrees. That's 3 and 4 degrees of freedom. But to rotate, right, like you're dancing at a bar mitzvah, not that anyone here is dancing at a bar mitzvah, but that's rotation.
Yeah.
That's 5 and 6. So if you told me a quarterback is going to jump up and down, the disc itself can handle it. But if you tell me that you're going to now do a profession that's a lot of twisting, just imagine that Oreo cookie. You
like
trying to untwist it. Yeah. It's not good at rotational strains. So I'm concerned.
Is it something, if you were prescribing a treatment plan for him?
Yes.
Would you suggest rest, surgery, something in between? What if he comes to you and he says, I've got a back problem, I needed an epidural, my back doesn't feel right. What's the next step?
So one of the most elegant research studies about back pain that I read in my training, what came out of Canada, where they looked at work-related injuries for back patients. So you can imagine people don't want to go back to work. Workman's comp, it's a nightmare. So they looked at postal workers in Canada, which would be like the ultimate person who hurt themselves and doesn't want to go back to work. And they studied them and found what's better to help them with their back pain. Traction, where you go to bed and we literally have a harness with weight off the end of the bed.
Right.
Or just bed rest with a pillow behind your knee, get up to go to the bathroom, get up to eat. But for the 2-3 days straight, stay in bed, guess what? They had a better result. And the reason traction was misunderstood as working is because it forced you to stay in bed. The reality is if you can forget the traction, but people, they start to feel good. You can speak about this, Ramona. You feel good, boom, you're back in the gym doing all kinds of things, and it rebounds. You gotta shut it down. So the fact that
you're suggesting rest first.
That's why he's at practice today in street clothes. He needs to sit tight. Let him take all his time, and everybody should leave him alone. We love Matthew Stafford. We ain't winning a Super Bowl without Matthew Stafford.
Correct.
Let him. What they're doing now is appropriate. Just shut him down till we need him at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that. I think that's what they're going to do, by the way. I think they're going to follow that exact you just suggested.
They listen to 710 ESPN. They know what clapper vision is.
But should I be more worried about him getting hit or like throwing? I would imagine both things might cause discomfort.
Correct.
Right?
Throwing is the repetitive twist, and that's the Oreo cookie. That's how you fatigue it. But also, John Ireland, if he's running and gets hit on the left side and it twists his lower back, if you have a violent twist, that ain't no bueno for your disc that's inflamed.
So, Dr. Clapper, I didn't know I was going to see you today, but I actually told a story involving you this morning. I'm up here in Idaho, and we all played some morning pickleball. And somebody said, "Hey, John, do you still play basketball?" And I said, "I stopped playing basketball when in my 50s. I mentioned to Dr. Clapper that I was playing, and you looked at me and said, 'John, guys your age built my house in Italy.'"
Exactly.
And so now I do things like golf and pickleball, things, Dr. Clapper, that are a little less strenuous.
Can be a little...
So I do a lot of hip and knee and shoulder replacements, and a lot of them are in pickleball players. You know why? When I ask them, when they come to my office, now their arthritis in their knee, their hip, their shoulders acted up. Okay, how much pickleball you play? Well, Dr. Clapper, I play 5-hour sessions. 5 days a week because they're retired. So what they are doing, they're not getting acute injuries, Achilles tendon, rotator cuff, the typical things you see from sports leading to acute injuries. No, what they're doing is they're taking a chronic altococcaritis, the age-old arthritis in their joints, and aggravating it and speeding up the demise of their joints.
Okay, hold on. We got to back up here because you used one of my favorite Yiddish words, okay? Do you guys know what an altococker is?
No, never heard of it.
That is an old fart. That's the Yiddish word for old fart.
It's a more presentable way, Dr. Clapper. You've learned radio well. All right, so last thing for you, Dr. Clapper, before we let you go. What is the status of the Weekend Warrior?
That's why I'm in studio today.
He's getting in his scrubs here.
I'm in my scrubs. I came from the office because Chris Morales and Tommy called me and said, "We want to have a meeting with you at 1:30 today." So I said, "Okay, I'll come early." And when I came early, I see you and Ramona doing the show. And you're talking about Matthew Stafford and the Chargers rupturing his patella tendon. I'm going, come on, you need some clapper vision. So here I am in the studio.
Yeah, what happened to rupture your patella tendon? That sounds terrible.
Well, that's a year. There's no chance, Dr. Clapper, that Rashawn Slater plays this year, right?
No,
that's a long recovery.
That's a season-ending thing. Yeah, you drill holes in the kneecap, and you do this beautiful suture technique to weave it back into the bone. But we'll see. I'm meeting with them. Cedars wants to get back into the act.
Love it.
So,
as you know, I am the biggest fan, as I've told you many, many times over the years. I'm the biggest fan of the Weekend Warrior show in L.A. So what I can do to help, let me know. Okay?
John Ireland, let me tell you something. I got a lot of friends here. Ramona, Greg, I've seen them all. But to me, who touches my heart the most is John Ireland.
Oh, look at that.
I want you to know that.
Wow. Look at that, Momo. All right, Dr. Clapper, I hope we get you back on.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, my pleasure.
Okay, I'll get to this WNBA stuff, Momo, because I think there's a lot going on in that league, and we got to get into it, and we'll do it next, ESPN LA.
Hey, fantasy football fans, this is your moment. The ESPN LA Fantasy Draft Party is back at Hollywood Park Casino Thursday, August 28th, with Sedano and Cap live at 3 p.m., and the draft kicking off at 6. Reserve your League of 8 now at ESPNLA.com. Prizes all season long thanks to Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play.
Saturday on ESPN LA, it was the preseason game number 1 as the Rams beat those Cowboys. And our very own George Shinano made his Rams play-by-play debut.
2nd and 9, Bennett in the gun, drops back, fires over the middle, it's caught, and running into the end zone for a touchdown is Cody Schrader out of the backfield.
Don't miss Sedano and DeMarco on the call this Saturday for Rams preseason game number 2 on your home of Rams football, ESPN LA.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey, everybody, it's Cap. Are you downsizing or inheriting a home? Want to cash in on your equity? Call Seller's Advantage. They buy homes as is with no costly repairs, agents, or commissions. Get a competitive cash offer and close in days or on your timeline. Seller's Advantage has over 20 years of experience and even offers a $20,000 advance for moving expenses. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your no-obligation offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage. Empower.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Visit Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Up next on ESPN LA.
More of LA's mega sports station and LA Sports Talk.
The 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block. Made possible by Next Gen Air and Plumbing.
Got a clog? Call NextGen for their $88 drain cleaning special.
Visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Tell them ESPN LA sent you.
Rams fans, the 2025 Rams regular season is right around the corner. Don't miss any regular season home games this year with marquee matchups against the 49ers, Lions, Texans, Buccaneers, and more for only $97 per game. In addition, get home playoff ticket access, interest-free monthly payment plans, and stadium event pre-sale access. Visit therams.com/2025. Again, that is therams.com/2025. Secure your season tickets and see you at the Rams house.
Mason and Ireland on LA's mega sports station.
I'm going to come out with something right here. I don't work as hard as John Ireland and have no interest in it.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on 710.
All right, Mason and Ireland. Momo is in for Mace. And Momo, I think the WNBA has never been more interesting. I think with everything that's going on across the league, they have brighter stars. I know Caitlin Clark's been hurt this year, but I think everything they're doing seems to be moving them in the right direction. So I was surprised, and I know the NBA is guilty of this too, but the WNBA needs to let these girls have personalities.
Yeah.
I never understand why leagues find their own players when they talk about the refs. Fans do it every day. Why can't the players? I'm going to play a clip from Sophie Cunningham. She's Caitlin Clark's teammate of the Indiana Fever. She was fined $1,500 for these comments about WNBA refs. I don't think these comments rise to the level of any fine. I want to see if you agree. Hit it, Brian.
If I was a ref, I know I would mess up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What call are you, like, bugged out?
All of them.
Most? Everything?
Like, it's just like they're just so inconsistent.
Okay, so that was it. That was the extent of her comments. Surprised she got fined, or did she deserve it?
I mean, it's kind of disrespectful. I'm not surprised. I just think that they don't make enough money to get fined. Like, $1,500 hurts. Like, so I don't know what her base salary is, but it's not very much. And so I don't know. I guess I was watching the Taurasi documentary last night, and she talked about how her starting salary when she was the number 1 draft pick for the Phoenix Mercury was like $42,000 a year, and that was pre-tax.
Right.
So like after she paid her agent and the taxes.
Well, that's why they all showed up in T-shirts All-Star Weekend
Right.
saying, "Pay us what you
So
owe us."
she was living this 8 months out of the year. She and Sue Bird and a lot of the top players would go to Russia and they would play and they would make millions of dollars and be treated like queens. Like they would be flying on private jets, and they had these owners who really loved them and would lavish them with gifts and Rolexes and whatever. And then they would come back to the WNBA and make $42,000 a year pre-tax, and then have to deal with these substandard conditions and fly a commercial and this and that. And it was like 2 different worlds. And so the salaries have gotten a little better since then, but they're still not what you think of for professional athletes. And I do think Sophie has made a name for herself as sort of the Caitlin Clark defender. Like she's kind of become like the hockey, the enforcer in hockey. That's kind of what her reputation has been for Caitlin this year. But the refereeing in the WNBA has taken a lot of criticism this year, not just over Caitlin Clark, but in general. And I think, generally, I think she wouldn't. I don't think it's smart to criticize the refs like that, because they're just going to give you less calls. They're going to take that personally. But I don't know about finding anyone, because they don't make enough.
Okay, so the other big story that's happening is, and it's been going on for a few weeks, is these sex toys being thrown on the court.
I'm so upset about this.
Okay. Why?
Apparently, it's some crypto company that's
It
trying
is.
to...
It's part of a cryptocurrency scheme. But are you upset because it's disrespectful? It's annoying?
No, it's really disrespectful. Can you imagine Can you imagine if somebody threw a green dildo on the court and hit LeBron James?
Right.
Do you imagine? Can you imagine if it hit Steph Curry? Like, those guys would lose. They'd blow a gasket. I just think it's. But the women have to be. They kick it off the court. They get upset. But they so much of being a professional female athlete or whatever is not getting too upset, right? Not losing your mind, not throwing a big tantrum.
I have an idea how they should handle this, and tell me if you think it would work. Now, you just said, what happens if they throw the sex toy and it hits one of the players?
Yeah.
So obviously it would be hard to do my plan with that. But there's an unwritten rule. And I've worked as a sideline reporter in TV, and I've worked as a TV news guy for the better part of 30 years. If a fan ever runs onto a court during a game, okay, runs onto a field, goes onto the ice at a hockey game, runs onto a soccer game, whatever. If a fan runs onto the field, we are told, do not speak of it. The producer and the director immediately cut to another shot, and we just let the idiot run himself out until the police catch him and get rid of him. Why don't we do that with this sex toy thing?
Well,
so every time they throw one, and every time they focus on it and talk about it, and people write columns on it, and a lot of the leading, particularly the leading female writers, Helene Elliott wrote a column about it the other day. It was really good. But what I would suggest is we treat these sex toys like we treat a fan who runs onto the field. Don't show them. Don't speak of them. And even, Momo, if it did come in contact with a player, if the player's not hurt, just move on. They're looking for attention. If we suffocate that, if we cut off the attention, would things get better?
No, because we live in an era now where everything is on cell phone cameras. Like, you as an official broadcaster can do that, but there's all these people in the arena that have their phones out, and they're not going to do that. And it's going to be on the internet no matter what. Like, people are going to take it. The second it happens, there's going to be everyone pulls out their camera, they take a video of it, it's going to go on Twitter.
Right, but we don't need to help them. Like if that happened at a Laker game, I think I would be I wouldn't spend time dwelling on it. I would say something along the lines. I'm obviously the radio announcer. If I was a TV announcer, I wouldn't reference that at all. But if I'm the radio announcer, I'd say we have a stoppage in play. A fan has thrown something on the court. And, folks, anytime you throw something on a court, you're going to get banned from the arena. You're probably going to go to jail. I can't strongly suggest enough you never, ever throw anything on the court. And that's it. I talk about it for 10 seconds, and I'm moving on. I'm not giving these jerks any attention because, Momo, that's what they want.
Yeah.
They've come out and admitted it.
Look,
it's
they
a cryptocurrency scheme.
The Barstool guys podcast, KFC Barstool.
Right.
They went on his podcast and tried to explain it. And they have like a meme coin or something they want people to buy. And these things are all, to me, the meme coins are all just scams. They're just, and no one's going to prosecute them for trying to drum up interest in it. Because it's just an idea of buy this meme coin and then everybody who's in early makes money when they all sell, right?
Right.
But, I think we're going to have to start checking bags and checking, there's supposed to be a clear bag policy. So I think security just has to kind of step up. We need to make examples of these people and actually put them in jail. Like they do this for streakers now, right? People who are out on the field, they actually go to jail. Like they actually.
And by the way, if a streaker runs on the field, we don't talk about it. We don't show it.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what these television networks and what these broadcasters should do.
Right.
Just completely suffocate the attention that it's getting. Stop talking about it. Maybe you're right. Maybe it wouldn't work, but I think it would help.
I think it'll peter out, especially now that we know it's a stupid, crypto thing or meme coin. Now that people know the answer to it, I think people they're just gonna get mad about it now. Like now, fans are not gonna play the game now that we have the answer.
Right. All right. So let me slip this in here before we go to break. Details are starting to come out about the merger of the NFL Network and ESPN.
Yeah.
And a few of the big things, there's going to be no more Monday night doubleheaders. All non-Sunday games will be in standalone windows, which I'd like. So you're not going to make a choice between which game you want to watch. And also, Scott Hansen, who's so good on the Red Zone channel, is staying. And since ESPN owns it now, they're just going to provide a platform and let Hansen do his thing. A lot of fans, Momo, are worried that ESPN might mess with the Red Zone. Are you worried?
I'm not worried about it at all. I think they're just going to literally let it run the way it has run. And I'm excited because I think that we didn't just buy NFL Red Zone. We bought the idea of Red Zone for other sports.
Right.
So I'm excited that maybe we'll have an NBA Red Zone or we'll have a college football Red Zone. I mean, college football Red Zone would be epic.
Would be perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah,
There's so many games on all the time. NBA would be great. Baseball would be great. Like, I think that format is really popular, and I think that it was a good buy. And I think with these, we've done this before with other shows. Like we're licensing it. We own it now, but I think they're just going to let it run the way they run it.
So I think the McAfee show is the best example of this. Like he pretty much does whatever he wants. And that's the template for what I hope they do with the Red Zone channel.
Yep.
Is that they leave it alone and just provide a broadcast outlet. Roger Goodell was asked about it last week, and that's what he seems to think is going to happen. That they're just going to keep doing the Red Zone like they've always done it, and it's going to air on ESPN. But I know there are a lot of prominent voices talking about how they're scared ESPN might mess up the Red Zone. I'm with you. I don't think they will. I think it'll be...
Same thing with Inside the NBA. I think they're going to produce the show just like they always do. The only question I have is what format it's going to be. Is it going to be the same 2-hour post-game window like they currently have? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. But I'm with you. I think that all these things can exist on new channels, on new platforms, without messing the integrity of the show. But we'll see. We'll see. We're all going to find out. All right, coming up next, I'm glad you're here and Laura's here today because there's an old – remember when John Cena was dating one of the Bella twins? He was dating Nikki Bella.
Okay.
And they got engaged, and he made her sign a 75-page prenup.
Woo!
I'm going to throw it at the two of you and tell me if you would sign it or if you would jump ship. We'll get into that next. First, I want to tell you about my friends at Toyota and the Southern California Toyota dealers. There's never been a better time to find the Toyota that's just right for you at the Southern California Toyota dealers and at Toyota.com. You can do either one. If you go to Toyota.com, you can explore the full lineup of vehicles, compare features side by side, search all the inventory, and see the latest offers. And if you're a 4Runner lover, you may want to go in and actually see it and sit in it because the new 2025 Toyota 4Runner is awesome. 4-wheel drive, great ground clearance, an amazing 465 pound-feet of torque. It's all available if you pop in to one of the Southern California Toyota dealers. This is the new face of adventure, the all-new 4Runner, available now. Make it easy. They make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Coming up today at 3 p.m.
We had this big company-wide meeting. I was on Teams. Most people were here, but I was driving up, so I was on Teams. So I took my phone and I put it between my legs.
Oh, jeez.
And I had no camera on and I had no audio on. And the phone is pointing up at me, okay? And I am picking my nose, man. I got my pinky in this side, my finger in, I am picking my nose, dude. I'm pulling things out of, cornflakes are coming out of my nose, bro.
Why do you keep saying
Because that's what they look like. And then all of a sudden, I look down at my phone, and I don't know if my leg accidentally touched the camera.
I don't remember seeing that.
People are watching me pick my nose from my phone that is in my seat, and I am picking, bro. But no one has commented to me today, like, hey, Cap, your camera was accidentally on. You were really
but now you told
deep.
everybody. But I don't remember us seeing it.
My finger.
We got it.
I'm like 3 inches all up in it.
Sedano and Cap on 710. The fun way to drive home.
Sedano and Cap.
Hey, football fans, ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes at your favorite NFL studios, where the biggest stories, highlights, and game day coverage are created? Now's your chance to find out with the NFL Experience, part of the SoFi Stadium Tour. Go inside the NFL's West Coast headquarters and get a rare look at the heart of football media. Plus, get exclusive access to SoFi Stadium and explore premium spaces. Walk through the team locker rooms, check out the press areas, and even head down to the field where the pros play. Available on select days. Book your tour now at SoFiStadium.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
And it is Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Like, that's the problem in the world, is there aren't enough happy shows, fun shows.
Mason and Ireland.
710 ESPN.
Momo information today as we tackle these sports topics of the day. And this is an old story, but it came back up this week. It kind of went viral, and for whatever reason, people are talking about it. And I wanted to wait for a day where you and Laura were both here, Ramona, because I want to get a woman's perspective on this. Here's the story. You guys know John Cena, the wrestler, the actor, and Nikki Bella. They were engaged. They may even have gotten married, but this was years ago when Bella moved in to his Tampa mansion. She was required to sign a 75-page cohabitation agreement. Cena wrote it. The document outlines strict terms for their relationship, including a clause that defined Nikki as a guest who would have to leave the home immediately if they broke up. Cena explained the agreement was intended to protect his finances and emotional well-being, especially in light of a difficult divorce he had experienced in the past. However, it obviously created tension, and these two didn't make it. Laura, I'll start with you. If you and Christian are getting married and he says, I need you to sign a 75-page prenup that defines you as a guest and you have to move out if we ever break up, are you signing it and being understanding of it, or are you telling him to go pound sand?
That's hard because I don't have an issue signing a prenup. We've talked about this. But 75 pages is excessive. That's a lot. So I don't know if I would sign it. And
Ramona, how
I
about
was
you?
Okay with it.
Yeah, I have no problem doing it. I think it's normal for somebody. He's really famous.
75 pages though.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
a
really
lot.
complicated. I mean, look, I have to sign a contract all the time, and there's, when you have a job at ESPN or what, you sign a contract, you read through all the language, and you go through it with your agent, you go through all the little things, and a lot of the little terms you don't always love. I mean, there's things like, there was one, it was called force majeure, right? That's like if there's a act of nature,
There's a hurricane.
yeah, or like COVID again or something, they can do this, this, and this. And like nobody wanted to sign that because you're giving like, oh, if there's another COVID or something, they can just kind of get rid of us. That sucks. But what are you going to do about it? And the truth is, like, do you want to work here or not? Because that's the terms of the deal. And do you love the guy or not? Like he went through something. He's super famous. He's got to protect himself. He's got lawyers who are probably a little overzealous. But you got to do what you got to do.
What has surprised me the most about this, when this kind of came back around a couple of weeks ago, are the comments. Most people are siding with Cena. Here's some of the comments. Hell yeah, bro. Smart move. Genius. And she signed it? Good for him. 75 pages seems like overkill, but I definitely understand protecting his finances. I 100% understand this. Good for him. A girl writes, can I have a copy for whenever my next boyfriend wants to move in? So most people are understanding of the prenup. I know when Lisa and I got married, I didn't have a lot of money at the time. I was talking to my dad. I said, hey, should I get a prenup? And my dad laughed. He goes, yeah, bring that up, see how it goes for you. I brought it up. It did not go well. Not a good day for me. So I don't have one. Michael doesn't have one.
I don't have one.
Yeah, so I think that what that indicates is Lisa and I are in this together.
Yeah, you're in this together, but also like you weren't super famous at the time,
right?
I mean, there's a really big difference. Like he's probably worth.
Well,
tens
she
of
was a
millions of
little
dollars.
famous, right?
She was a little famous, but she's not worth what he was worth. He was a big movie star by then, right?
Right.
So I mean, and it sounded like he had a bad divorce before, where
Probably got screwed.
Yeah, he couldn't get the ex-wife out of his house. It sounded like.
I don't think there's. I've said this before. Prenups are good. Get them. I think everybody should have them, and what you've accumulated before XYZ person that's coming into your life should be yours to keep. And whatever you build together, and you can do what you want that way. But to me, like 75 pages is a lot.
It's excessive. But that's all legalese. Like a lot of stuff that it probably doesn't really need to be in there.
Yeah, it just seems to me 75 pages. If you, somebody wrote in here, nothing says love like a 75-page prenup.
Well, that's the thing is you're not ready to be in a relationship if you need to have a 75-page prenup.
I was just thinking that.
You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
I don't know. I mean, look, like, okay, we all know some famous people who have gotten married to less famous people or less what. They all have prenups like that. They all have to go through trust litigation and attorneys, and I think that's fairly standard for celebrities, especially when they have lots of assets.
Let me change subjects on you. It sounds like there's a possibility that Howard Stern's radio show could end after a 20-year run on Sirius. Here's my question. If that happens, would it be an overstatement to say that Stern has had the greatest run in radio history? What do you think?
I mean, what other...
Who else is even in the conversation? I guess Rush Limbaugh before he passed away.
Yeah, maybe Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, but Howard's been more successful than Ryan, and Ryan's been hugely successful.
I mean, Ryan isn't just successful for radio. That's the difference.
Well, Stern is kind of, he made a movie, did some TV, but I think Stern used radio better than maybe anyone ever. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Jim Rome. Jim Rome's had a great career.
Right, but better than Stern?
No. I look, Stern is to me like he's a cultural icon. I mean, he elevated himself to a completely different level.
I think Jim Rome has had the best sports radio career.
That's probably right.
Either him or Mike and the Mad Dog. But overall radio, like including every form of radio, talk, music, sports talk, whatever, I think Stern's number one. Brian, what do you think?
I can't think of anybody else that comes to my mind. When I saw this, too, I was kind of thinking that same question, and I think I always landed with Howard Stern being the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he just said things and did things on the radio that no one had ever done before, and now we've all, stolen from him.
Right. I mean, I think, but Stern also, did he become famous because he was a radio host, or did he become famous because he got its show out of it.
No, he became famous as a shock jock.
Right.
Whenever he
But
went
then
on.
there was a TV. Some people started televising his show.
Right. And then
That's when he got to be really famous.
Well, and then they did the movie, Private Parts, and then he wrote 3 or 4 books. But I think if this is it, if he ends his run, and they gave him like $100 million, so he doesn't need money. If he retires after this 20-year run at Sirius, I think he's had the greatest radio career of anyone ever. And I've thought about it, and I know there have been some, like Vin Scully had a tremendous run. I think, but Vin did a lot of TV, a lot of stuff outside of sports. I think Howard Stern's the most successful radio personality in the history of the medium. And if I'm forgetting somebody, let me know. But I think
Steve Mason would like a word.
He would. He'd be wrong. But actually, Mason recognizes Stern as one of his influences.
He does. Yeah.
And so I think everybody that's like me and Mason and Rome, and we all took stuff from Howard Stern. I just think the guy might have had the greatest run in
well, also, he defined a genre. Like, he became the shock radio, shock jock. Like, but in his skits, he put himself out there. Like, he became this crossover media star. Like, there weren't that many crossover radio stars like that. Was he one of the first?
Probably.
So somebody said, let's put this show on TV.
Yeah.
I will say, though, I do think Ryan Seacrest has made more money than him. Because he's an executive producer of all those Kardashian shows.
Maybe.
He's on American Idol, all that stuff.
His hand is everywhere.
But that's not all his radio stuff. That's all.
I met Ryan when he was doing movie reviews on the weekends at KCAL when I was the sports anchor.
Wow,
that's how far that dude's come.
But
Good
I mean, he's really built himself an empire.
Right, and
Adam Carolla, is that another person we can put in the category?
But even, and I'm a huge fan of the pirate ship.
Yeah,
but even Adam would say Stern's had a better career than him. Although. Yeah, these are other people you could kind of throw around and put in the conversation. But I think the answer basically comes down to Howard. Okay, coming up next is Fast Track. We've brought it back. Brian's going to throw stuff at us. Laura's going to throw stuff at us. And we're going to do it all next. Momo in for Mace. Mace will be back tomorrow, by the way.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, good point. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
Soccer fans, this one's for you. It's the Soccer Dream Ticket presented by San Antonio Cardinal. Your chance to win an unforgettable trip for 2. We're talking 2 tickets to the final match, plus hotel and round-trip flights. Enter for your chance to win at soccerdreamticket.com. That's soccerdreamticket.com. Brought to you by San Antonio Cardinal Wine, the perfect game day wine.
Up next on ESPN LA.
More of LA's mega sports station and LA Sports Talk.
The 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block, made possible by Next Gen Air and Plumbing.
Got a clog? Call Next Gen for their $88 drain cleaning special.
Visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Tell them ESPN LA sent you.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Want to sell your home because you're downsizing? Call Seller's Advantage. Want to sell the home that you've inherited? Call Seller's Advantage. Want to sell your home and take advantage of your equity? Call Seller's Advantage. No matter what your reason for selling, Seller's Advantage will make you a competitive cash offer and can close in as little as days or as long as you need. Don't worry about the condition of your home. You don't need to pay for costly repairs because they buy as is. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes for over 20 years, focusing on helping sellers get the highest offer possible without having to get it ready for the market or deal with agents or pay commissions. They make selling easy and painless. They'll even offer you a $20,000 advance for moving and other expenses. If it's time to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a no-obligation offer. Call 888-39... 888 as is, 888-397-2747, or visit sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's hottest card room. Pre-game with friends on game days inside Century Bar and Grill and enjoy daily lunch specials or catch up over a late-night dinner. Step into Ray's Lounge and enjoy live music, DJs on the weekends, and savory crafted cocktails. The only spot where you can park, party, and play 24/7. Hollywood Park Casino now open. Located next to the Forum and SoFi Stadium and the all-new Intuit Dome. For more info, go to playhpc.com or follow them at PlayHPC. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma Brands radio station.
And it is 2 p.m. in the Southland on the biggest show on the radio, Mason in Ireland.
Hi, it is time for Fast Track.
Fast Track.
The return of Fast Track, driven by our friends at Cerritos Auto Square. Why do more people buy their car at Cerritos Auto Square than from any other location in Southern California? Easy. With 24 dealerships side by side, car shoppers can find the right car at the right price at the right location. Cerritos Auto Square. Learn more at CerritosAutoSquare.com.
Time for Fast Track.
Down low is 350 cube, 3 1/4 horsepower, 4-speed, 410 gears, 10 coats of competition orange, hand rubbed lacquer with a blue plain manifold, open race cams.
Fast Track on Mason in Ireland.
Time for Fast Track. Take it away, Mace.
All right, no Mace today. Momo in for Mason. Laura's here. Brian's here. Who's going first, guys?
I'll go first, John.
Okay.
So I found this story, and I found it really interesting. I'm not a parent, but I definitely want your guys' take on it. So Maluma is a Latin artist. He had a concert in Mexico City, and he scolded a mother for bringing her 1-year-old baby without ear protection to the concert.
Ooh.
I'll translate a little bit of it. It says, he says, with all due respect, do you believe this is responsible? I'm saying this out of respect and as a father. Next time, at least bring the baby some ear protection. This is an act of irresponsibility, and you're swinging him around as if he were a toy. That child does not want to be there. So the internet was a little bit divided, right? Some were praising him for stopping the concert because she even tried to pass the baby to him at some point. So she was really close. Momo, you talked about being at the Shakira concert.
Yeah, I was like getting blown away.
Right.
It was too close.
She was really close to speakers.
Yeah.
So the internet was divided. They were like, hey, that's dope that he stopped the concert, called her out because 1-year-old definitely damaging those ears. And other people were kind of mad at him for scolding her in front of everybody. Exactly. It was a little rough. So what side are you guys on this?
I would not bring a 1-year-old baby to a rock concert. I just think it's, but Momo, 1-month-old is also about the time where you're not comfortable using a babysitter.
1 year or 1 month?
1 year. 1 year. 1 year.
1 year. Yeah, 1 year is a little different.
Look, there's a way you can do it that doesn't have to be so judgy and so scoldy. I just made that into a word. All you have to do is just be like, hey, can we get that baby some earmuffs? Just call it out to the people at the venue. Like, I went to this at SoFi. They had an earplug station. And it was kind of like when you walk to the area where you go to the floor seats, there's like a station where they have earplugs. Almost when I go to Dodger Stadium, Daniel is a little more sensitive to the roar of the crowd. So if you go and ask them, they have it's like guest services. If you say, hey, do you have any ear coverings for my kid? They'll give them to you. They have them there. You don't have to bring them yourself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you have a kid, like a little kid's ears, their ear tubes are a little smaller than ours are. Even for me, it was too loud. I felt like I was like, my heart was thumping. It was so loud. Like and it wasn't my heart doing it. It was literally the vibration of the sound. And I'm like, he could have just said to her, hey, you know what? Can we get this baby some earmuffs? Like, this is you don't have to scold the mom. She's doing her best. She probably shouldn't bring the kid
you're
to
right.
That's
a good happy medium.
I'm sure they have them at the stadium.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Stage manager, you don't need to make an example of her. Come on.
Fast Track.
All right, guys, so everybody loves a little preseason. I know we've all been watching preseason very, very attentively here. Here's the clip of the preseason so far and get your take on it.
Holy smokes. They got a shot.
He just kicked a 70-yard field goal. Are you kidding me?
Crazy.
I've never seen that. The NFL record. That would be an NFL record.
That was Cam Little of the Jags on Saturday. Kicked a 70-yard field goal. Made it with like 5 or 6 yards.
Oh,
I think.
He made it easy.
Yeah, easily. It doesn't count as a record because it's a preseason game, so the record still stands, I think, at 66 yards. Do you think we'll see a 70-yard, field goal here in the next year or two? And then does this change the game? Like, how important is this that you're going to have kickers now that can make 70-yard field goals?
I absolutely think you're going to see a 70-yard field goal before our lifetimes. But let me ask you guys a related question. Why doesn't it count? It's an NFL game. They're charging full price for tickets. It's televised. These are NFL players. Why isn't that the new record, Momo?
That's a good point. I mean, I'm trying to think about, like, if in basketball, if somebody scored 100 points in a preseason game, would we count it?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's an NBA-sanctioned event.
Yeah, it's not all NBA players, though. I mean, look, I think when you watch field goal kickers warm up, they all make 70 yards. Not all of them, but a lot of them, they can make them in practice. Doing it in a game is a whole different story. Doing that again when there's actually a line there trying to block you, because the issue is about the launch angle, right?
Right.
I think that's the same term, right?
Right.
In baseball, like, it's the launch angle. When you kick a 70-yarder, you got to kick it kind of low. You can't kick it quite as high to get up over the line. So the fact that he was able to kick it high enough up over the line and make it from 70 yards in an actual game is unbelievable. But I think we are going to see more of it. I think the only issue is when you kick those 70-yarders, if somebody blocks it, it's a pick. It's real easy to return for a touchdown. That's why you don't see that many of them.
But like at the end of the half, like that guy did,
end of the half,
that's smart. I mean, you'd have to have a lot of things go wrong for it to work against you, and it went through. So he's good.
And 70 yards also is like field goal position, field position. So where are you kicking it from? You're kicking it from like the opposite 40. Is that right? Opposite 45 or something like that?
You're kicking it. The ball's being put down at the opposite 40, and then you go 10 yards deep.
10 yards deep. And then it's being put down, so there's 7 yards of the snap, right?
So
I used to keep score in high school football. Can you tell?
You'd be on your own 47 when you do that.
That's right. So usually you want to punt from there because you're going to pin them inside the 5. If you miss from there, then they're getting great field position.
What's next, guys?
I will also say a little caveat, though. I had my fantasy draft yesterday. He was the first kicker taken.
Really?
So, coming off of recency bias.
I would take the Dallas kicker.
That was
Aubrey.
the number one.
I never take a kicker.
He went second.
Yeah.
Fast track.
I'm always one of the first people to take a kicker.
Really?
Yeah, because I normally everybody waits for the last couple of rounds.
Or they don't take one.
I normally take one in like the 10th or 11th round.
I pick one up every week. Like it's one of my weekly pickups based on matchups.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Fast track.
All right, guys. You, Momo, mentioned Diana Taurasi and the Prime show that she has. So I had a little promo here that I wanted to play, and then I'll have a question for you guys.
I'm the best player in the world, and I have to go to a communist country to get paid like a capitalist.
Playing in Europe during the WNBA's off-season, these women were going for 7 or 8 months. They were chasing their value.
One time I came back and I was like, man, my parents have just gotten older, and I've missed a big part of it. We weren't making that much money, so generational wealth was coming from going to Russia every year. Now we have to come back home and get paid nothing to play in a harder league in worse conditions against the best competition in the world. The janitor at the arena made more than me.
So
she's not wrong.
And I actually love the show. I've seen
the first two I watched. I binged 2 episodes last night.
It was great. My question here is, because she, when she compared herself, like, oh, I got, she wasn't trying to put anybody down, but the people are always going to be upset about it. But does her honesty help bring more awareness and push the sport forward, or just like reminding us of how much they still have to push for that sport?
I'm going to answer your question with a question. Laura, the league has never, ever made money. They have lost money every single year. Now, it's coming. The valuations are much higher now. But if you're the owner of a WNBA team and you've never made money, you've lost money every year, why do you have to give the players the money now? I think what they need to do is sit down and figure out a way to what they're going to do moving forward. But I don't think they're entitled to a big payout now. Do you, Ramona?
Yes, and I will explain to you. You got to spend money to make money. And the fact that they all had to go, I mean, I didn't understand how big a deal it was for them to play overseas until I watched that last night. Can you imagine spending 8 months out of the year in Russia? Like, Diana Taurasi says, the 4 years I played in for Spartak in Russia. That was the kid. That was where they had this great owner. His name was Shabtai. He was murdered, and it's like we think it was a Russian mob hit or something.
Right.
And he lavished them with gifts and everything. She said with a straight face, those 4 years playing for Spartak were the best 4 years of my life. This is a woman who played at UConn for Gino, but she described that time in her life as playing for nothing, like being poor. Like she was, she had they were so poor growing up, they had to move back to Argentina for a little while. Then I'm going to ruin a little piece of this, but they moved back to Argentina, and then her family got robbed at gunpoint, so they thought it was not safe there, and they moved back. And that's why she ended up back in the United States. She didn't really have anything, and so this is finally where she's getting paid. And I was like, wow, we must have missed out on so much good basketball that was played in the Russian league with Ekaterinburg and Spartak.
Again, all right, so
I'll get back to your question.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that the WNBA product was being hurt by the fact that the best players in the world are spending so much of their time overseas. These ladies would play, and they would the next day the season would be over, and they'd get on a plane to go to Russia. They'd finish the Russian league. They'd have 1 day off, and they'd fly back and start training camp. And that's why they're always getting hurt. That's why the level of play wasn't quite as much. That when you're flying in coach and you're doing it's just not going to be as good of a product. And you have to spend money to make money. The people who are now investing in the WNBA, these are billionaires. These are not the former Sparks owners who were just fans who they had some millions, but they couldn't really afford to pay this. These guys paying the WNBA player $100,000 or $300,000. That's an accounting line for them. These are the people who are buying these franchises now really do have the money, and if you invest in them, they will give you a better product.
I don't know a businessman anywhere that would look at the business model the WNBA has used for 28 years, never having turned a profit, and say, I need to pay them more now. What I think they need to do is in this new CBA negotiation is negotiate a higher percentage of what they'll make moving forward. But we talked about this kind of ad nauseum a couple weeks ago. I see both sides of this. I think the girls should be paid more. I think that they should participate. The Valkyries are valued at over $250 million.
They just sold 3 expansion teams for $250 million expansion fees.
Right. So that money needs to filter down to the players. But I also see the sides of the owner saying, hey, look, I've been here for 28 years, and I've just done nothing but lose money. And so why should he have to pay? So it's complicated, but I see both sides of it.
Fast track.
Go ahead.
I got another one here for you guys. So we talked about Howard Stern and possibly, coming to an end. A little happy birthday shout out to Joe Rogan here.
Okay.
And the question is he really the one when you think about who made podcast mainstream? Because podcast started, before that, but he ended up getting a multi-million-dollar contract with Spotify. And really around that time, I feel like podcasts and video podcasts kind of took off. Is there anybody else that comes to mind?
Bill Simmons.
That's why I was just going to say.
Yeah, you got to give Bill a shout out.
For me, Bill Simmons is the guy who made podcasts cool. And he's really good at hiring people that do specialized podcasts, all this, whether it be the rewatchables or, the stuff they do with pop culture or, really any corner of the world, Bill has developed a podcast for it. But I would put him right there with Joe Rogan, Ramon. I agree with you.
Yeah, and by the way, he did a multi-million-dollar deal, too. It's just, he's not the only one hosting. I mean, he has his own show, but he's created, really big podcasters throughout his time. And I think he had a vision for it that not everybody else had. And maybe Rogan gets credit for doing the visual component of it. Because I think him putting his podcast on YouTube and then selling that's what really took podcasting to the next level. But Bill, I think, was the early adopter and got in, before anybody else saw the power of it.
Fast track.
You guys got one more? Or is that it?
I had one more, but more like a little shout out because I don't know if you guys have been hearing BC play a lot of hip hop coming into from the breaks because it's National Hip Hop Day today.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is because it was the birth of hip hop in 1973 in the Bronx.
Wow.
So I just want to give a little shout out to hip hop.
That's crazy that somebody can just claim that as the birth of hip hop. Like there was an actual day?
Well, because
in 1973?
So it was a party And that's when they introduced rapping, and that's kind of how like hip hop started in the Bronx.
Do we have any more details of this party? I always thought like Rapper's Delight, you know, the hip hop, is that the first hip hop song? Like, there's a party in the Bronx one day?
There's a whole documentary about it. I can send it to you. It's actually really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
All right, that's it for Fast Track. We coming up next, the Freeway series starts tonight. Dodgers at
Love this.
Angels. If you ran the Angels, what would you do to better compete with the Dodgers, or is it impossible? Are you just never going to catch the Dodgers because the Dodgers are a behemoth? We'll get into that next. Momo and Mace, I'm John Ireland, ESPN LA.
Hey, join Travis and DeMarco broadcasting live Thursday, August 14th from 9 to noon at Legends Attic in Claremont for the biggest autograph signing yet. All-star catcher and World Series champ Will Smith, plus Oral Hershiser with special guests, giveaways, and art by Dave Hobrecht. Get your tickets now at legendsattic.com. Don't miss it. Thursday, August 14th at Legends Attic in Claremont. Presented by Fanatics.
It is Fast Track on Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and always on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles, driven by Cerritos Auto Square.
And it is time for Fast Track.
Fast Track.
Why do more people buy their car at Cerritos Auto Square than from any other location in Southern California? Easy. With 24 dealerships side by side, car shoppers can find the right car at the right price at the right location. Cerritos Auto Square. Learn more at CerritosAutoSquare.com.
Time for Fast Track.
More Fast Track next.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Coming up today at 3 p.m.
We had this big company-wide meeting. I was on Teams. Most people were here, but I was driving up, so I was on Teams. So I took my phone and I put it between my legs.
Oh, Jesus.
And I had no camera on and I had no audio on. And the phone is pointing up at me, okay? And I am picking my nose, man. I got my pinky in this side, my finger in, I am picking my nose, dude. I'm pulling things out of, cornflakes are coming out of my nose, bro.
Why do you keep saying
Because that's what they look like. And then all of a sudden, I look down at my phone, and I don't know if my leg accidentally touched the camera.
I don't remember seeing that.
People are watching me pick my nose from my phone that is in my seat, and I am picking, bro. But no one has commented to me today, like, hey, Cap, your camera was accidentally on. You were really
but now you told
deep.
everybody. But I don't remember us seeing it.
My finger.
We got it.
I'm like 3 inches all up in it.
Sedano and Cap on 710. The fun way to drive home.
Sedano and Cap.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Mace here. These days it feels like there's advice for everything. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, and screen detoxes. But how do you know what actually works for you? Using trusted resources and talking to live therapists can help you break through the noise. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/LA right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Harry Douglas here. When you're on a business trip, you know what goes completely off the rails? Your workout routine, folks. Especially when you book a hotel that doesn't have a gym. Then you have to squeeze in between the desk and your bed, eke out 2 push-ups, and call it a day. If you just stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you'll discover there's a fully equipped fitness center at every location. Now you can wake up and do some weightlifting to prepare you to carry your team on your back all day long. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at LQ.com.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time.
Pick me up and never put me down.
Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink like our tangy passion fruit lemonade. Waba Grill, keeping it real every day for you.
Fast Track.
And it is Fast Track on 710 ESPN. Mason and Ireland on the all-new ESPN LA app, 7:10 a.m. and always on YouTube at ESPN Los Angeles. Fast Track now back in the 2 p.m. hour on Mason and Ireland, driven by Cerritos Auto Square. Why do more people buy their car at Cerritos Auto Square than from any other location in Southern California? Easy. With 24 dealerships side by side, car shoppers can find the right car at the right price at the right location. Cerritos Auto Square. Learn more at CerritosAutoSquare.com. Once again, back to Fast Track and back to Mason and Ireland on 710.
Today it's Momo in Ireland, Ramona Shelburne pinch hitting for Mace. And Momo, tonight, game 1 of the Freeway series, Dodgers at Angels. So I was thinking about something. Let's say I hired you to run the Angels.
Okay.
With the edict, I want you to increase market share. I want to be more competitive with the Dodgers. Where would you start?
Well, I mean, first I would sell the team.
I would too.
I think that's... there was a couple years ago, Joe Lacob, owner of the Warriors, was trying to buy the Angels. There was this, remember Artie was going to sell?
Yeah.
There was this idea, and he tried to buy him. And then something happened, and he didn't have to sell anymore. And I was thinking, how different the world would be if Joe Lacob owned the Angels.
Shohei Otani would still be in Anaheim.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, they, the thing that the Dodgers did really well, and it was something that was totally unsexy at the time. Do you remember when Farhan Zaidi got here and he started talking about how we need to build the best 45-man roster? Right. We need to have optionality. We need to have what they did is build organizational depth. There's nothing exciting about that. All the exciting stuff came later when they went and traded for Mookie and got Shohei as a free agent. And every winter they seem to be getting the right free agents, relief pitchers notwithstanding this year. But they started by building that farm system and organizational depth. So I would find out who the best person is, and I would study how the Dodgers have done it. I would study how the Tampa Bay Rays have done it. The teams that are consistently good year in and year out at every single level of minor league baseball, and I would do that. I would hire them, and I would just start there because that's how you build a great roster.
I thought you hit it at the very beginning when you said I would sell the team. I thought and I don't have anything against Artie, and John Carpino, who runs the Angels, is a great guy. I think there's some really good people down there. The minute you let Shohei Otani walk across the street and didn't even make him an offer was the day you should have got out of the business because now you're not in it to win anymore.
Well, they should have traded him if they were going to do
that.
But I think they knew he wasn't coming back.
Right. So if they knew, why not trade him?
Yeah, why not trade him? They had a kind of sort of chance to make it that year. They did make a few trades and then nothing worked out. And that was it. But the reason why they're this year they're actually having a decent year. Kenley Jansen was the relief pitcher of the month or something, right?
Yeah.
They're having a decent year, but they wasted Mike Trout's career. It's kind of unfair. It's on him too. But they just have never built organizational depth. They don't have when the Dodgers, the reason why they're still in first place, but even barely despite all these injuries, is because they have a whole stable of arms behind. One guy gets hurt, there's another 2 or 3 guys they can call up. They have.
All right, so here's the $1 million question. Is what you're describing what the Dodgers have done under Mark Walter and Andrew Friedman? Could you transfer that to the NBA, or are baseball and basketball different in that sense? Could you?
We're about to find out.
Organizational depth is the term you used,
Yes.
which I loved. Is that...
I stole it from them. I didn't make it up.
Okay. Is that doable in the NBA? Like, I guess Oklahoma City kind of has it.
Yeah. That's Oklahoma City. They're stacking players upon good players upon players. They have like waves of people. And it's because they're going to have a couple guys get too expensive. They'll have the next round coming. They have a stack full of draft picks they can use if they need to make a trade. They have the extensions that kick in that get really expensive. They don't kick in until the other guys come off the books. I mean, it's just the level of planning is unbelievable. And I think everybody tries to do it, but I don't think anybody's fully executed it to the level that the Thunder have done.
All right, so let me ask you this. Are there people at the Dodgers who are now going to do the same thing at the Lakers? In other words, Kevin Demoff runs the Rams, and he runs the Nuggets, and he runs the Avalanche, and he runs Arsenal. He's the president of Kroenke Sports. I think what Stan Kroenke did was he goes, I've got this really smart, aggressive, young executive that I could plug into any situation. Is that something we should expect now that Mark Walter owns the Lakers?
Yes. I say that very confidently. I think that one of the biggest things, and I'll tell you this, like, I know that they have, before Luka signed his big, long extension, they laid all that out for him. Like, he knows everything, not everything in specifics that is coming, but the resources that are going to now be available, not just on the basketball side, but on the business side too. Like, everything from the Lakers is going to be upgraded to the top of the top level. And I know this, the Lakers are a good business now, John. I mean, we all we know their business.
That's why they sold for $10 billion.
And also their revenues are good now. Like, when you look at the Forbes valuations, it has the revenues in there. I think they're third in revenues. The Warriors are number 1, the Knicks are number 2, and then it's the Lakers. A lot of that is coming from the local TV deal, but they do run a good business. But the opportunity for growth with the Lakers is higher than any other team in the league. And I think you're going to see all of those things come online and be upgraded with the Lakers, business side, basketball-wise, whether that's international scouting, college scouting, player development, all of that. Everything is going to be at the next top level. I mean, Oklahoma City, I was around them a lot. Obviously they won the championship, so we were out. I think I spent several weeks in Oklahoma City this year.
Right.
And there's people that work for them that you've never heard their names, but there's a whole group of people that are super smart, that make a lot of money, that are the best in their field, and they have this like think tank that's behind everything. There's a whole, they have funny titles like Director of Strategy and Information, or whatever. They all have these like esoteric kind of sounding titles. I think all of that's coming for the Lakers.
Good. That's exciting.
Yeah.
If they, obviously the Dodgers win and win big every year. They've won something like 11 out of 12 division titles. And they're in the playoff hunt, and they're one of the favorites to win the World Series every year. If they can repeat that and make the Lakers that, it would be really exciting around here. And obviously, as somebody who works for the Lakers, I'm super jacked up that this could happen.
But I do think that Jeannie Buss is going to stay in that role, because you said that's the reason they're worth $10 billion. I agree, but I also think this is Mark Walter bought the brand. Like, that's what's second to none. And Jeannie Buss and her family have been the people who created that brand. That's invaluable. Like, there's just certain brands around the world, Coca-Cola, Apple, whatever you want. Those brands, everybody in every corner of the world knows about them. And you cannot buy that kind of brand value. You can't just recreate it. There's no conference room you can sit in and say, here's how we're going to be the biggest thing in whatever field we're in. This just happens over time, and Jeannie's the keeper of that flame.
All right, coming up next, by the way, we have Game of Games. It's my game today, coming up in about 15 minutes. But coming up next, there was a wedding here in Idaho, Momo, that I'm not sure if this was offensive or if this was really smart, but I'm going to ask you next. Momo and for Mace, I'm John Ireland, Mason in Ireland, ESPN LA.
Are you ready for amazing golf at one of the best courses in Southern California and to be part of raising money for an incredible cause? It's time for the 4th annual Give Back Golf Classic, Friday, August 29th at the stunning Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda, benefiting the Folds of Honor Foundation. Folds of Honor, they have a mission to empower deserving military families with educational support and opportunities. Register to play now at blackgoldgolf.com/FOH. Plus, there are still sponsorship opportunities to be part of this amazing event. blackgoldgolf.com/FOH.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Summer's here. You made it. And one of Jacob and Ronnie's new billboards says, don't just exist, live. It's the kind of message that hits you, especially if you're dealing with the aftermath of a crash or an injury. Jacob doesn't just handle cases, he helps people move forward, take their life back, and get the justice that they deserve. If you've been injured in any accident, don't settle for silence or pain. Call someone who's been standing up for LA families since the 90s. Jacob will fight for the maximum compensation, and you pay nothing unless he wins. When you call an attorney, you want one who's respected. So call Jacob, because he's the real deal. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, or visit him online at calljacob.com, a proud partner of the Rams, Lakers, and LAFC.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Back when I played, leg cramps were no joke. Fourth quarter, overtime, practice, even when I got home, they would hit out of nowhere. Had I known about Highland's leg cramps back in the day, I would have had a locker full of the stuff. Now I'm retired, I still get these cramps on my morning walks, hanging out with my daughter, but now I've got something that actually works. Highland's leg cramps. The tablets dissolve quickly under the tongue and don't upset my stomach. Cramps hit athletes, weekend warriors, couch coaches, all of us. Grab Highland's leg cramps and get it today at Walmart, Walgreens, or CVS.
Saturday on ESPN LA, it was the preseason game number 1 as the Rams beat those Cowboys, and our very own George Shinano made his Rams play-by-play debut.
2nd and 9, Bennett in the gun, drops back, fires over the middle, it's caught, and running into the end zone for a touchdown is Cody Schrader out of the backfield.
Don't miss Shinano and DeMarco on the call this Saturday for Rams preseason game number 2 on your home of Rams football, ESPN LA.
You've probably heard of speed dating, but what if there was something similar for hiring, especially if you're running a growing business? There is Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You can post your job today and talk to interested qualified candidates tomorrow. Simply select a time and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you'd like to connect with and meet great people through back-to-back video calls starting as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports. Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Your ultimate summer playlist comes to life at SeaWorld San Diego. Catch live shows with Fat Joe, Trina, Waka Flocka Flame, Genuine, and more. It's throwbacks, turn up, and all-out vibes with the I Love the 90s and the Turned Up Tour. Plus, nightly BMX stunts, parades, and fireworks bringing back those SoCal summer vibes. You're never too old for SeaWorld. Your summer soundtrack starts here. Buy a ticket, get a second day free with tickets as low as $56.99 for a limited time at SeaWorldSanDiego.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Flashy discounts, gimmicky sales? Don't fall for it. At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, we give you honest, wholesale pricing all year long. No bogus markups, no tricks, just the best floors at the best prices. Call 866-62-FLOOR. No sale beats wholesale. Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, check them out at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net or call them at 866-62-FLOOR.
For the best prices on hardwood carpet and more, call 866-62-FLOOR.
Mason and Ireland on LA's mega sports station.
Oh my, am I really on Mason and Ireland show?
Yes.
This is a great moment. Hey.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on 710.
Today it's Momo and Ireland. Ramona Shelburne, nice enough to fill in for Mace. And, Momo, I've been up in Idaho for a few weeks, and there was a wedding up here, and I'm going to read you the details of the wedding. And I want you to tell me if this couple is really smart or really tacky. I think it's one or the other.
Okay.
All right, their names are Marley and Steve, okay?
Yeah.
They sold tickets to their weekend wedding in Idaho as a case study, a proof of concept that weddings can be funded, not financed. In other words, guests could buy a ticket if they wanted to come. Like I invite you. If you want to come, you got two choices. You can buy a $57 ticket, so it'd be one for you, one for Nevin, and you get admission to the wedding day, or you could buy a 3-day experience for 2 tickets valued at $1,000 that allowed access to the wedding day plus the pre- and post-wedding events. Now, here's the interesting thing. It worked. The couple not only broke even, but once they did, they had a surplus of $132,000.
Whoa, how many people did they invite?
That they donated to Village Impact. So they donated all their profits to charity. Now, this bride and groom are obviously trying to revolutionize the wedding industry.
Wow.
By charging this, but it worked. She's 34, he's 37. And they say they were baffled by the overpriced traditional wedding planning model that often breaks the bank due to all the outrageous cost attached to really small things. So they decided to create a case study on their wedding by selling tickets to prove that weddings can be funded so marriage can start without you being in a big financial hole. So that's a really smart idea that they've now proven can work, or B, it's just tacky. What do you lean more towards?
I'm starting to lean towards smart idea. My mom is probably really mad at me for saying this because we had to pay for our wedding, and my mom paid for a lot
Lisa
of
and I had to pay for ours.
Yeah, it was like me and Nevin and my mom and dad, and they had to pay for it. Like we had to jump in and pay for it. And that was 2009. So how long ago was that? Long time ago. I think it's so much more now, and I couldn't believe how much money people dropped on their weddings. Like, first of all, I don't know how the ticket could be $57. Like, I remember ours was like $125 a person.
Right.
Like, that sounds fairly cheap for a wedding. So that, like, are they?
Well, maybe most people went for the $1,000 and did the whole weekend of events.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So, Brian Cohen, you just got married. Did you ever think about charging for your wedding?
Never came across my mind, but I wish I would have thought of this case study because I would have saved me a lot of money.
It's just out of control right now. Like, it really is. It's just the venue costs so much, the catering costs so much. Like, and if you want to do it kind of nice.
Laura Romo, you're not married now, but you might be one day. Would you consider this model?
No.
Why?
Just for me personally, like Christian and I have talked about marriage and all these things. If we're going to get married, we're going to do something we can afford, have people that have supported our relationship, and it's something intimate and close. I don't need a lot of people do the big weddings because they want to show off, right? But at the end of the day, like you don't need to show off to anybody. Like if people are going to be there, they're going to support you and are going to be happy for you. It doesn't matter if you spend $150 per plate or you spend $20 on the plate of food. I think people go above and beyond to impress people. And to me, that's not the point of the wedding.
So I went to a couple weddings recently, and I can tell, who paid for their own wedding or who had somebody finance, like their parents or whatever it is. And there was one I went to, I thought it was a very nice wedding, but you could tell every little thing they had to just, it was like, it was a pinch. It was like they had to just be so tight and I felt so bad for them because I want them to spend that money on their house payment, on their down payment.
Right, which is the point of the whole thing.
Like, if somebody said to me, hey, I want to invite, we're charging $50 to come to my wedding. Don't even bother getting us a gift. If we're going to charge you, I would totally do. I don't want to buy you a gift. I'm just going to give you money anyway.
Right. I normally do that too. So here's Marley. Here's some more context. She says, we got engaged And when we started looking at venues and saw the quote for one, there was a $650 cake cutting fee.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
just to cut the cake,
Come
not
on.
the cake itself. Just
That's
to
crazy.
cut it. Yeah, and that makes no sense. So,
How'd they get around all that?
well, they asked all their followers if the financial investment and expectations attached to weddings, and would, added pressure to all these couples as they started their lives. She says her comments were flooded with couples sharing similar experience of wild wedding markups, kind of like what you were talking
Yeah.
about, Ramona, how everything is so friggin' expensive. So,
I mean, it's tough. I'm going to a wedding in a few weeks in Paris. That's why I'm going to Paris, because my friend's getting married in Paris.
Right.
Right. And we opted to not be in the, you know how they have like selected rooms for like the wedding parties or whatever?
Right.
Those things were ridiculous. Even though they got a deal, it was still a lot of money.
And you're paying for your plane ticket. Yeah.
Right. So my friend and I said, what the hell? We're just going to stay in an Airbnb. And our Airbnb for both of us was like way cheaper than if we would have stayed in the hotel. And we have a view of the Eiffel Tower. We're still going to make it to the wedding. We're still going to do the things that we need to do for the wedding and the reason why we're there. But it's so expensive. So
Yeah, you got to buy the dress.
right,
You gotta
all
buy,
these things. And I understand because like as far as like the weddings that I've been to traditional weddings where, they pay for everything, whatever. And then I've been to like weddings, very Latino weddings where, it's a kind of a buffet style and things like that. And the parents help and all the family helps. And I think that is cool. But for me is if I am ready to be get married, I don't think it should be placed on anybody else.
Here's a little more context. She said, and this, when I see this, Ramona, I'm kind of coming to where you are. She says, eventually we landed on this idea that felt really good to us. Don't buy us a gift.
Yeah.
There were no gifts allowed at these weddings. Just cover your meal and come party with us. It took the pressure off the gifts, helped us manage the guest count, and made the whole thing feel more fun and collaborative. I'm surprised it worked as well as it
Yeah,
did.
because some people
aren't
get
you?
upset about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
worked because of no gifts.
Yeah, because no gifts. Because a lot of people feel like they got to shop off your registry and all, and all that stuff is good because you don't really want to spend all that money on yourself buying some plates and buying some glasses. You're like, we'll just get stuff at Target, whatever. We don't need to go big on that. But now you have some nice stuff. But I'll tell you, a lot of the stuff I got for my wedding I don't use. I returned a bunch of it because it was Bed Bath & Beyond, and they used to take everything back, and we could just use it. But we didn't have a house yet. We were living in an apartment, and I remember when it came time for us to go do our down payment on the house, I was like, man, I wish we didn't spend so much on our wedding. It really was. It was a very nice day. I'm glad we, spent money and did it, and we did it nicely, whatever. But there was a lot of stuff that's just stupid.
Do you
just a stupid waste of money.
All right, so here's a little more. They sold approximately 100 basic tickets, so that's $5,700, Ramona, and 30 VIP tickets, so that's another $30,000. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how they got all this excess money.
Yeah.
So you said it was like 100K plus, right?
Well, they 100 basic tickets for $57 each, or maybe I'm doing the math there. Is that $57,000? It probably is. And then 30 VIP tickets for another $30,000. But they made money and they donated the leftover to charity.
I would give their leftover money back to the guests. I don't think the guests need to donate to charity. We went over, right? We paid for our stuff. Here's your refund. I mean, to me, I would absolutely, if my friend said, hey, my cost for you to attend my wedding is $75. I'd be like, sweet, let's go. Me and a date, me and my plus one, that's $150. I'm not buying you a gift. That's great. I think that should be a new model. Do you want to upgrade with the open bar? You can add $20 to your ticket.
Right.
That's kind of great. But, I don't know. I think that maybe this younger generation is going to do that because it really has gotten out of control.
Okay, coming up next is Game of Games. Laura, do you have the Game of Games standings?
I do, and let me pull it up really quick. So
we're
kids in the back.
We're 11 days into August, so we haven't had that many games, but who's leading?
So the kids in the back are leading with 2. That they are attributed to Dean and Graham. DeAndre, yourself, Brian, and myself have 1 each.
Okay, my game coming up next. You got to find somebody to play, Laura. It'll be Laura, Brian,
I gotcha.
Momo, and whoever Laura recruits, and we will play it next. ESPN LA. Oh, Thrive. I love talking about Thrive. So Thrive is the leading managed security service provider in the United States. When I met with these guys initially, they said, we're all big sports fans, and defense wins in the playoffs, and turnovers kill you. And as they pointed out to me, the same is true in business. 1/3 of businesses will unwittingly turn over their company data to thieves this year. Your customer files, bank accounts, everything is compromised in an instant. And you won't know until the $1 million ransom demand hits your email. Preventing data turnover is why you need Thrive. They'll start with a comprehensive cyber risk assessment. Thrive's security analysts identify gaps and deliver solutions to help keep your network healthy and protected. I've been hacked. Trust me, you don't want it. And it's not a matter of if, it's when. Get ready. Get your no-obligation security recommendations and consultation. Your business relies on it. Visit thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. Protect your business with Thrive.
Saturday on ESPN LA, it was the preseason game number 1 as the Rams beat those Cowboys, and our very own George Shinano made his Rams play-by-play debut.
2nd and 9, Bennett in the gun, drops back, fires over the middle, it's caught, and running into the end zone for a touchdown is Cody Schrader out of the backfield.
Don't miss Shinano and DeMarco on the call this Saturday for Rams preseason game number 2 on your home of Rams football, ESPN LA.
Hey, it's Greg Bergman, and the Freeway series is back again, and we're bringing the party to the San Gabriel Valley. Join me and the ESPNLA crew for a watch party at Clearman's Galley, located at 7215 North Rosemead Boulevard in San Gabriel on Wednesday, August 13th, starting at 6 p.m. Hang with me and the crew talking all things boys in blue, and enter for your chance to win Angels tickets and a whole lot more. So wear your gear and come party with us at the Freeway Series Watch Party, presented by Arrowhead Mountain Spring Water, the official water of Major League Baseball.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form, and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Beat the heat this summer with NextGen, the official AC plumbing and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. If your AC breaks down, don't hesitate. Call NextGen now and enjoy expert installation on any new system. For a limited time, combat SoCal's air quality and reduce dust in your home with a free no-ozone air purifier included with any new AC system install. Call 833-3NEXTGEN or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com to book online. CSLB number 1011173, lifetime warranty on selected items.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, no Mace today, but I've got the game, and Momo is in for Mason today. She's playing along with Brian Cohen, Laura Romo, and I understand we have a new teammate, and all I know is his name is Tim Johnson. Tim, what do you do at ESPN LA?
I'm a content production specialist here at ESPN LA.
All right, content production specialist, and this is your Game of Games debut, right?
I think that means he jazzes up our social media offerings.
Okay, so Tim, speak directly into the microphone. Get your mouth right up to it, okay?
There you go.
All right, is
here
this
we go.
better?
Yeah,
Yep,
way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Don't be nervous.
Yes. You might win, Tim. It's all multiple choice.
Hey, I'm shaking in my boots.
All right, here we go. This is a game of Know Your Dodgers. As we've been talking about, the Freeway Series starts tonight. Dodgers at Angels.
Okay.
It's all multiple choice. Here we go. Question 1. This Dodger played in college at the University of Iowa. In his last year there, Caitlin Clark was a freshman on the basketball team. Is it A, Ben Kasparius, B, Jack Dreyer, or C, Dalton Rushing? Brian, Kasparius, Dreyer, or Rushing?
I'll go Dreyer.
Okay, Laura.
I should follow the Dodgers guy. So, yeah, Dreyer.
Okay, Ramona.
I think it's Dreyer.
All right, Tim.
I'm going to be an oddball and go Rushing.
You should have gone Dreyer. It's Jack Dreyer.
Kasparius is from, like, New England area.
Yeah, everybody's on the board except Tim. All right, number 2. This Dodger went to the same high school as Major League pitchers James Shields, Trevor Bauer, and Mike Montgomery. Is it A, Tyler Glasnow, B, Max Muncy, or C, Blake Trinan? Laura, Glasnow, Muncy, or Trinan?
I honestly do not know, so I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to go Trinan.
Trinan. Okay, Momo. Glasnow, Muncy, or Trinan?
Glasnow.
Tim.
Glasnow.
Brian.
I'll go Glasnow as well.
Glasnow is the answer. Yeah,
Can I give you the high school?
Yeah.
Hart High School in Newhall.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lisa went to Saugus.
Yeah.
one of
Oh,
their
wow.
rivals.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, Tyler Glasnow. All right, number 3. Momo, this one coming to you.
I actually knew that. Was pretending like I didn't know it.
All right, so Momo has 2, Brian has 2,
Okay.
Laura and Tim have 1 each. All right, Momo, you've heard the phrase born on the 4th of July.
I have.
This Dodger was born a day later.
Okay.
On July 5th. Is it?
I'm just picturing you writing that.
Yeah.
Super knockered. Okay.
Well, you know
yeah.
me, super nerd.
Yeah.
Is it A, Dave Roberts, B, Mookie Betts, or C, Shohei Otani? Roberts, Betts, or Otani? Whose birthday is on July 5th, Momo?
We're going to go with Mookie.
Mookie. All right, Tim.
I'm going with Mookie.
Brian.
I'll take Dave Roberts.
Laura.
I don't think it's Mookie. It's either Otani or Durr.
Roberts, Betts, or
Otani.
Otani, Laura?
I don't know the answer
I
to
don't know.
this.
I'll go Otani.
You'll be glad you did. It is Shohei Otani.
Wow. I didn't know that one, yeah.
Yeah, he's born on July 5th. So Brian 2,
Okay.
Laura 2, Ramona 2, Tim 1. Tim, this one coming to you.
Okay.
This Dodger was actually on the Houston Astros roster in 2017.
Ooh.
But he was traded at the trade deadline, so he didn't play for
Okay.
Houston
Still might have cheated, though.
against the Dodgers in the World Series that year. Tim, is it A, Michael Conforto, B, Teoscar Hernandez, or C, Miguel Rojas? Conforto, Hernandez, or Rojas? Tim.
Ooh. I think I'm going to go with Rojas.
Rojas. Okay, Brian.
Go Hernandez.
Okay, Laura.
Rojas.
Momo.
Oh.
Conforto,
I'm gonna
Hernandez,
go Conforto.
or Rojas?
I'm going to go Conforto.
Brian gets it. It's Teoscar
Wow,
Hernandez.
really?
I didn't know he played
Me
for
neither.
the Astros.
I thought he was a
Didn't know
Blue
that
Jay
either.
the whole time.
Yeah,
Okay.
he got traded from Houston to
Oh,
Toronto.
Okay, good
All
job,
right,
Brian.
so right now, Brian 3, Laura 2, Ramona 2, and Tim 1.
Got it.
Brian, back to you. This Dodger formerly wore contact lenses when he played, and he occasionally wore glasses.
Wow.
Until finally having his vision repaired with LASIK surgery. Is it A, Mookie Betts, B, Justin Robleski, or C, Freddie Freeman? Brian, Betts, Robleski, or Freeman?
Robleski.
All right, Laura.
I'll go Robleski as well.
Ramona.
I'm going to say Freddie.
Tim.
I'm going to Robleski.
It was Freddie Freeman, and Momo is tied for the
I
lead.
think I knew that one. I always try to act like I don't know.
followed Brian. I was like, "Is Freddie?" And then he's
I
like,
think
"He
it's
sounded
Freddie.
so
Oh,
calm."
man.
All right,
looked
here we
like
go.
he knew it.
I feel like
Laura,
I remember him with glasses. That's why.
Yeah.
All right, Laura,
Okay.
this one coming to
Okay.
you. Okay. When this Dodger was a little leaguer, he was so small in size, none of the coaches would play him. So his mom started a team just so her son could play in Little League. Is it A, Will Smith, B, Mookie Betts, or C, Alex Freeland? Smith, Betts, or Freeland, Laura?
I don't know. I'm going to go Betts.
Okay, Momo.
Mookie.
Tim.
Freeland.
Brian.
It is Mookie Betts.
It's Mookie.
It is
Yeah.
Mookie Betts. You
I
are
know
right.
that story. I was trying really hard.
Momo, did you know that one
Yes,
too?
I've heard that about his mom.
Yeah. All right, so Brian 4, Ramona 4, Laura 3, Tim 1. Here we go. This one coming to Momo.
Okay.
While in high school, this Dodger developed a baseball rivalry and eventual friendship with Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Is it A, Blake Trinan, B, Anthony Bonda, or C, Michael Kopech? Trinan, Bonda, or Kopech? Momo.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to go with Trinan.
Trinan. Tim. By the way, Tim, you should go with someone other than Trinan. You should go with Bonda or Kopech because you're 3 behind.
Okay, I'm going with Kopech.
Okay, Brian.
Also go Kopech.
That was my
Laura.
second.
I'm also going to go Kopech.
It is Michael Kopech. Yeah, they grew up in Texas
yes.
together.
I knew it wasn't Bonda.
Trinan grew up in like Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere like that.
Okay.
Shoot.
So,
Shoot.
all right, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, Brian, you got to go first. You got 5, Laura 4, Ramona 4, Tim 2. Here we
Okay,
go.
we got to go opposite. How many more left?
1, 2, and a tiebreaker.
Okay.
All right, so Tim, you're out, but we'll let you keep playing just so you get some experience.
Okay. I'll take it.
BC, you go first here. The father of this Dodger is a former college baseball coach and a current Padres scout.
Ooh.
Is it A, Brock Stewart, B, Justin Robleski, C, Alex Vesia? Stewart, Robleski, or Vesia, Brian?
Take Vesia.
Vesia. Laura, Stewart, Robleski, or Vesia?
I have no idea. I'm going to go Stewart.
Okay. Momo, Stewart, Robleski, or
I'll go
Vesia?
Robleski, so we have to go opposite.
Okay. Tim, Stewart, Robleski, or Vesia?
I'm going Vesia.
Laura Romo has tied the game. It is Brock Stewart. Okay. We got one left. There are 3 players still alive.
Okay, I got to go opposite these two.
Correct. So Laura will go first, then Brian, then Momo and Tim. Here we go.
All right.
Last one, Laura.
Oh.
This Dodger grew up in Seattle as a Mariners fan. But although he's played for 4 different major league teams, he's never played for the Mariners. Is it A, Kirby Yates, B, Blake Snell, C, Tanner Scott? Laura, Yates, Snell, or Scott?
I honestly have no clue. So I'm going to go Tanner Scott.
Tanner Scott. Brian, Yates, Snell, or Scott?
It's Blake Snell.
Okay,
That was my
Momo.
I have to go.
You got to go
with
Kirby Yates.
Kirby Yates.
And Tim, who do you think it is?
I'm going with Scott.
Come on, it's Kirby Yates.
We have a winner.
It's Brian, isn't it? Because that was my other
It's
choice.
Brian.
It is Brian Cohen, and it sounded like, Brian, you knew. Did you know Snell was from Seattle?
I did know he was from Seattle. He actually coaches Little League teams during the summer, too, up in Seattle, so I did know that part.
There you
Kinda,
go.
he has
is
that
way
like
too
Tim Lincecum look too.
Right.
He does, yeah.
And Laura, that
Typical
ties
Northwest.
Brian for the lead, does it not?
Yes, I have to go with my gut because I would have done the Freddie and the Snell. I would have won.
All right, we'll do the tiebreaker just for fun.
I suck at
All right.
If you add up the ages of 3 of the oldest Dodgers,
Okay.
Clayton Kershaw, Blake Trinan, and Miguel Rojas, what total number do you get? All right? So add up those 3 guys and give me one total number. Brian, what do you think?
101.
Okay. Laura?
I'll go 115.
Momo?
I was gonna say 102.
Tim?
99.
Okay. The winner of the tiebreaker is Laura Romo. The answer is 110.
Whoa.
Kershaw
I'm so
and
mad.
Trinan are 37.
36, yeah, 37.
Rojas is 36, and it totals up 110.
Okay, good.
Brian, well played. Congratulations. Tim, what did you think of your first on-air experience?
A little nerve-wracking.
Well, you got through it.
He's sweating over here.
There you go. Good. Welcome to the team. And let me see what Tim looks like. I didn't even turn on the friggin' camera. Oh, there you are. Okay, well, thanks for playing. Oh, you got great hair, man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very jealous of your hair. God, I wish I had all that hair. All right, coming up next, Super Crosstalk. We'll get. All right, Laura, is it Cappy and Sedano today?
It is on the schedule, yes.
Okay, we'll see who it is next. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
And when we play Game of Games, don't forget everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, everyone can fight, but Jacob is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 84424 call Jacob.
Up next on ESPN LA.
More of LA's mega sports station and LA Sports Talk.
The 9-hour LA Sports Mega Blog, made possible by Next Gen Air and Plumbing.
Got a clog? Call NextGen for their $88 drain cleaning special.
Visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Tell them ESPN LA sent you.
You know that feeling. You're finally asleep and bam, a leg cramp comes out of nowhere. Look, I played through pain, but waking up with a leg cramp at 3 a.m., that sucks. So I don't mess around anymore. I keep Highland's Leg Cramps PM on my nightstand. No groggy side effects, no harsh meds, just a fast, effective relief that lets me sleep through the night without the Charlie horse surprise. Get the sleep you need with Highland's Leg Cramps PM. Get it today at Walmart, Walgreens, or CVS. Highland's Leg Cramps PM, because you don't need a midnight workout.
Listen up, soccer fans. San Antonio Cardinal Wine and ESPN LA want to send you and a guest to the final match of the season. It's a Soccer Dream Team ticket. Enter for your chance to win now at soccerdreamticket.com. That's soccerdreamticket.com. Brought to you by San Antonio Cardinal Wine, the perfect game day wine.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
We're brought to you today by GNC. Hope I'm not interrupting your workout routine, but the GNC Live Well sale is going on right now. Buy one, get one, 50% off everything in the store and at GNC.com. That's right, everything. Protein, pre-workout, creatine, vitamins, supplements, and so much more. Go for it all and don't miss out. At GNC, nutrition isn't just the department, it's the whole freaking store. You got goals, GNC has results. Visit your local GNC store or go to GNC.com.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins. Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Cap, this is for you. Woo, 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 woo. I see
Very
Cappy
simple.
is in South. How you doing, Cap?
I'm good. I'm in South today, being DTLA mañana. And for the latter
Mason's
parts of
gonna
the
be back
week.
tomorrow.
Can I just tell you, I think that's your version of my Valley Girl voice.
What?
Which one?
Like when you do the South, bien DTLA mañana.
Angela Wilson.
Like they always like for me to do the Valley Girl voice because I'm like from the 818.
That's pretty good.
I mean, like you know, I'm from the Valley, so you want to talk about like you have like a Valley boy voice there.
Well, Momo, I'm just trying to match your energy, girl. What can I tell you? But I will say that like when I was a kid, probably in the early '80s, do you remember the TV show Valley Girl?
Of course.
Oh my God, I love that show.
Well,
for
it
me,
as a
it's
song.
Clueless. Clueless is like the official Valley Girl thing that everyone knows.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right?
So, Cap,
Johnny I.
honest answer to this question: who's late to crosstalk more, Ramona or Sedano?
Momo, how you get in there kind of late?
Usually, but this time I was late because I was finishing calls. I was actually here plenty early. I just had to wrap up some calls.
Okay,
Some, like, reporter
I think it's a
calls.
close race.
It's close.
But at least, okay, so, John, at least, though, Momo's using the I was making calls.
And, like,
I'm
you
doing...
saw me walk in, right? Well, you weren't
Right.
here, John, but I waved at Travis.
He was.
And, you know.
He was here early.
Laura saw me early. I was just on the phone.
Let me tell you what Sedano's doing right now. Are you guys following his Instagram at all?
No.
Okay, so Sedano...
We were way too quick with that.
I don't follow anyone's Instagram,
Let
so
me
don't
tell
feel
you-
bad, George. I'm
Yeah.
never on it.
Our boy Sedano is, you talk about on a work grind. You know, some people go on a work grind a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. Sedano is on like a multi-year work grind right now. Sedano has done this on his own, John. He doesn't have to, but
Right.
he chooses to, and it's for obviously for great reason. Sedano today was at Wake Forest for football practice this morning. I think it's Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay.
He then got done at football practice. He called me. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I just got done at Winston-Salem. I've got 2 hours and 50 minutes for my drive to Charlottesville or Charlottesburg, somebody like
Sounds
that.
like Charlottesville.
Might
yeah.
just be Charlotte, which is a
In-
big city in North Carolina.
No. He's going to Virginia.
Yeah, okay, so that's Charlottesville.
Okay, so he's going to the University of
Yeah.
Virginia. So he says this to me. This is at 9 a.m. this morning. He goes, yeah, I'm just calling to see what's going on, how you're doing, how your weekend was, everything. He goes, I've got 2 hours and 50 minutes till I get to the University of Virginia. I go, well, I cannot talk to you for the next 2 hours and 50 minutes. That's an out, okay, just so you know. I've got a few minutes here for you. But Sedano went from Wake Forest this morning, 3-hour drive to Virginia, and now he's at the Virginia football headquarters and watching their practices and meeting their coaches and everything else.
Wow.
So a lot of guys or girls, play-by-play people, could say, hey, you know what? I've got Wake Forest versus Virginia on September, 15th. And they write out their boards and they make a couple of calls and they watch some games and then they go and they call the game. That's it. It's easy. George, though, is deciding he's going on an ACC camp tour. He's going to meet these coaches in advance. He's going to meet the players. He's going to know the sports information directors. He's going to have relationships before he ever gets to or even if he calls their games. So I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, he's being smart.
I mean, that's a hustle. That's a grind.
And he did the Ram game on Saturday.
That's
so
right.
he must have traveled Sunday, and then today he was in Wake Forest, and now
Right.
going to Virginia. Oh,
Right.
Good for
And
him.
while he's traveling cross country for ESPN and, being like a really serious guy, I'm a freaking jerk last night doing Ryan Seacrest impressions at Jockey Karaoke here at Del Mar.
Why was Jockey Karaoke a thing?
So every year there's a competition between the jockeys at Saratoga in New York and
Okay.
the jockeys at Del Mar. And the jocks at Saratoga put on their version of karaoke, and the guys down here who are from Santa Anita, they come to Del Mar for the summer. They put on their version of karaoke, and then there's a whole online voting system as to whose jockeys are better, the East Coast jocks or the West Coast jocks.
Okay.
And last night they were putting on a show. They put on quite
Who
a
won?
show last night. Umberto Respirito, I hope I'm saying his name right. I don't
Was he
remember.
from Saratoga or Del Mar?
No, he's from Del Mar. He's from
good for
so
him.
Santa Anita jockey comes down to Del Mar for the summer.
All right, so
Yeah.
Cap, you are as good at side hustling as anyone I've ever met. Matter of fact, you have a
thank you.
company called Sided,
Mhm.
which is
Wow.
a tip of the hat to that. So we had a story earlier this hour. I'm in Idaho, and a couple here decided they were going to charge for their wedding. They charged $79 if you just wanted to go to the wedding, and $1,000 if you wanted to go to all the wedding events. They request you give them no gift, just show up, buy your tickets, and enjoy the parties. They made over $100,000. People embrace the idea. Is that idea a little bit brilliant or a little bit tacky, in your opinion?
Just one quick question, point of information.
Yeah.
Did I also understand that the money that was generated that was above and beyond, I guess,
The
expenses?
cost of the wedding was donated to charity.
Okay, so let's just say hypothetically the wedding cost $75,000 and they put $25,000 into a charity. Is that
Yeah,
right?
they put more than that. They donated almost $100,000 to a charity.
Oh,
but-
wow. So on the surface, it sounds so tacky, right?
Right.
Like for $79, I'll allow you to buy a ticket to my wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
For $1,000, you can be involved in all the festivities
I know.
of my wedding. It sounds so unbelievably tacky. But on the other hand, in today's day and age with what weddings cost,
Right.
if you could get your people to say, hey, look, for example, let's say I'm going to go to a wedding and I know that it's going to be like $250 per person, like approximately. I know that.
Right.
So then, aren't I kind of obligated that if me and Rubber or Rachel go as guests, aren't I obligated to give a $500 gift? Aren't you supposed to
Probably.
cover your cost? Isn't that
Basically?
That's what etiquette is when you go to a wedding, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they took the gift element out, but people still have to pay to travel to get there, and it's in Idaho, and I Ramona kind of won me over with the fact that nobody who is rational thinks it's a good idea to start your wedding in a financial hole. And a lot of couples don't have rich parents that pay for their weddings.
Right.
So, like, Cap, none of your daughters are married, right?
Nope, all three of them are still thankfully not married, 23, 21, 18, so thankfully not yet.
Do you have money put away in the event they do get married, or are they on their own?
Hell to the nah.
Wow.
You hear that, Queen? I'm talking to you, Laura. Hell to the nah.
I ain't asking you for money, so you good.
I know, but the
Lisa
thing
and I
is,
paid for our wedding.
I mean,
we had neither one of our parents paid.
So I have a close friend of mine whose daughter is 24 years old. She just graduated from school, and she and her boyfriend have been together for many years. On the day she graduated, he proposed to her. They are now in the process of looking for a wedding venue. The daughter lives in Cincinnati, where she went to college. They started to price out a venue. I
know.
You ready for this? In Cincinnati, Ohio. This is not Manhattan Beach. $100,000.
Wow.
And that was if you were going to have a wedding for, like, call it 200 people. We all sat around and go, "Are you kidding? $100,000? If you're going to pay
like a down
$100,000
payment on a house,
right?" So, like, I would just say this: that if friends of mine were having a wedding in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and I was going to travel to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and I was going to have to write them a check for $500 to go to their wedding, as a gift, I'd rather pay the $1,000, go to all the different festivities, and know that two things. One, they're not going to be in debt, and two, they're making a donation to charity. On the surface, it sounds so tacky and classless, but when you really peel it back a little bit, it kind of makes sense for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Ramona,
I'm starting to warm.
I know.
to it.
I went through this a long time ago, and it was. I remember it being like $125 a person. So like the thing that would get like when you pay for it yourself and you know exactly what the costs are, the things that would get me really upset. Like there were people who RSVP'd that they were coming and then didn't show, and I was like, that just cost me like a couple $100 that you just said you were coming and then I didn't show. Like you have to give account. Right? Like, and people don't realize how rude that is when you say you're coming and you don't show. Or like there would be people who came and then they say they were bringing a plus one, they didn't bring one, and like you don't realize it until you pay for it yourself all those little things. But I'm like, why is it that was 16 years ago? It's
right.
a long. What does it
so
cost
I got
now?
married, Momo. I got married
God.
26 years ago.
Yeah.
I got married in 1999, and Lisa and I decided, since we were paying for our own wedding, we're going to go. We say to each other, okay, here's our rule. We're not inviting anyone to the wedding that at least one of us hasn't met. I don't want like friends of friends there since we're paying. And Ramona, strangely, ours was 125 ahead, just like yours.
Wow.
So we put together the guest list. We wanted about 120 people.
Yeah.
We narrow it down to 120. And Lisa's grandfather calls and says, well, I have a list.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That's always
And Lisa goes, well, we've just decided we're not inviting people that at least one of us hasn't met. And her grandfather, who she was super close with, said, if you don't let my list in, I'm not coming.
Oh, I hate that.
And
I
went,
hate that threat.
Yeah.
Okay, so get a load of this, Cap. I then call my mom, and she says, I have a list. And I go, well, we're not inviting anyone we haven't met. And she goes, well, I don't think I could come. And I went, what do you mean you don't think you could come? She goes, well, we go to all their kids' weddings.
Yeah.
She goes, I'll pay for my people. And I go, Mom, you don't have to pay for your people, but how many of them do you have? And she goes, 16.
Ooh.
And we call the grandfather back, and we say, how many do you have? He goes, about 20. Our final number, when we were set at 120, our final number that we paid for was 155.
Wow.
And there were about 30 people there we didn't know.
Yeah.
Because our both of our parents and or grandparents played the heavy and said you have to invite these people. So I'm starting to think that this couple in Idaho is smart rather than stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I think they may be onto something.
Like I went to a wedding, and a lot of the ones I've been to recently, they have this option for the gift list where it's like, it's not like go shop at some place for the registry. It's like donate to our honeymoon fund. And then
Yeah,
I
I
just,
like that.
yeah, I like that. Just I'll give you money.
That's what I always do when someone at
Yeah.
the station gets married.
Yeah, just
I
give
just
money.
give them money because I never go to the weddings. I just say, if you invite me, I'll send you a gift. So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Have you ever heard of this, like where the bride's parents do have money, or some money, and they say to the bride and groom, "Hey, look, we've dedicated $50,000 for your wedding. Like
Right.
that's our budget. That's
Yeah.
what we've got. You can either have it, the $50,000, and do whatever you want with it, or you can use it to get married. But like if it were me, at least John, I also got married in 1999. I didn't last. I lasted until 2017. If I could go back and do it all over again, I would have taken the money and not had the wedding and bought a house.
Me too.
You know?
Yeah.
Because then it started to get to this point where it was like, well, we don't really need flowers on every table. That's just eating up more money.
That's what you were talking about before. You know, by the way, Cap, if you presented me with that ultimatum, you can have $50,000 for your wedding, or you can just take the cash. You know what I'd say?
I'm going to guess.
DeAndre,